A house of horrors is the way to describe things for the Evansville Otters experience so far this season in Avon, Ohio. Otters are 0-4 playing against the Lake Erie Crushers in their home ballpark, but this morning another chance for Evansville to turn things around here in Northeast Ohio. Good morning, everyone. I'm Griffin Epstein here on the Otters Digital Network, and we're simulcast today again on Flow Sports with the Crushers production team. It's great to be with you on another sunny, beautiful morning for baseball. The Otters trying to figure out the Lake Erie Crushers this season, especially here in Avon, Ohio, a suburb of Cleveland. The Otters lost the series opener yesterday, got off to a great start, looked like Evansville would have a great chance to get their first win of the season here at Mercy Health Stadium, but it was not to be as the Crushers scored 5 unanswered runs yesterday to come from behind and win. The Otters offense got off to a great start, 4 runs over the second and third innings, but the Otters went dead silent after that. Evansville had just 1 base runner over the last 7 innings, and the Crushers hit a 2-out, 2 RBI base hit in the 6th inning, then ended up winning 6-4 yesterday for the Crushers' 4th straight victory to start the season here at Mercy Health Stadium. So today the Otters trying to turn things around here on Avon, Ohio, even up this series at a game apiece and force a series decider tomorrow evening in the only evening game of this series between Evansville and Lake Erie. It's time to meet the starting lineups for today. We'll start with the Otters, 34-26 on the season. Evansville 12-7 overall in series this year, and they've won their last 2 series. They sit 2.5 games back of first place Gateway. The Grizzlies broke a 6-game losing streak last night. Edward Jones' leadoff batter is the left fielder Noah Myers, back in the leadoff spot today. Kona Quiggle will bat second and play center field. Jeffrey Baez batting third and playing right field. Dakota Phillips in the cleanup spot. He'll play first base today for the Otters. Yomar Reyes bats fifth and plays third base. Josh Broughton moved down in the lineup. He's batting sixth today and playing second base. Ethan Skender will bat seventh and play shortstop. Jake Green in the starting lineup for the first time this series. He's catching and batting eighth. And Brian Rosario, also a new addition to the starting lineup. He rounds out the lineup for the Otters, batting ninth, and is the designated hitter. The righty Zach Smith on the bump today for the Otters. He's making his second start of the season against Lake Erie. He suffered the loss in his first start of the year against the Crushers back in the series opener between these two weeks ago here in Avon. Smith, though, has had a great season overall. He's 5-3 with a 3.27 ERA on the year. Other side for Lake Erie, they're 26-35 on the season. The Crushers have lost 10 of their last 11 series going back to early June, but that one series win was a sweep of the Otters here at Mercy Health Stadium 2 weeks ago. Crushers are 11 games back of first place, but they did get out of the cellar of the Frontier League West yesterday with the Crushers winning and Florence losing. The Crushers sit sixth in the Frontier League West standings. Third leadoff batter will be John Dito Trump for a second straight day. The center fielder for the Crushers led Lake Erie yesterday with 4 RBIs. Zachary Houston bats second and plays third base. Todd Isaacs Jr. batting third and is the designated hitter. Jack Harris in the cleanup spot. He'll play right field today for the Crushers. Second baseman Kemuel Thomas Rivera bats fifth. The All-Star shortstop Jared Watkins batting sixth. Bottom three in the lineup, Scout Knotts, the left fielder for Lake Erie. Josh Rego, the first baseman, batting eighth and back in the starting lineup for the first time this series for the Crushers. And also a new catcher today for Lake Erie, rounding out their starting lineup. It's John Tuccillo on the mound for Lake Erie. The starting pitcher today for the Crushers, the righty former Philadelphia Philly big leaguer J.D. Hammer. It's his third start of the season against the Otters, and Evansville has really struggled against Hammer this year. He's having an excellent year. Record does not show it. He's 2-3 on the year, but a 2.87 ERA. That included a win over the Otters back on the 4th of July here at Mercy Health Stadium as he went 5 1/3 and allowed just 1 hit. He was then excellent last Thursday at Bosse Field, allowed just 3 hits and 2 runs over 6 innings pitched, but suffered the tough luck loss as Lake Erie did not give him any run support in that outing. So 2 starters today that have both previously pitched against these teams in the second game of this 3-game series. 8th game of the season between the Crushers and the Otters, Evansville now guaranteed to lose the season series against Lake Erie. The Otters are 2-5 against the Crushers this year. They did win the series against Lake Erie last week, winning 2 of 3. First series of a 6-game road trip for the Otters. They'll be at the New York Boulders this weekend. The Otters hoping to even up this series at a game apiece, forcing a series decider tomorrow evening. Check of the weather. Another lovely morning for baseball. A little bit hotter than yesterday. Sunny skies with a light haze overhead. We're under an air quality alert. 80 degrees here in Avon. There is some humidity, 67% humidity, making it feel like 84 degrees. A chance for home runs today. Wind is blowing straight out to left field at 11 miles per hour here at Mercy Health Stadium. Yesterday was very pleasant. Today a little bit too hot for my liking in the sun. The weather's starting to heat up across the United States by the end of the week. Our umpires today for the Frontier League: Reed Hoover behind home plate, Jason Smith at first base, and Clark Morgan at third base. Familiar crew to the Otters' 3-man umpiring crew for the Frontier League. Crushers starters being announced. A lot of kids in attendance. It's another super splash day at the ballpark with plenty of summer camps in attendance. It should be another fine afternoon, or still morning, for baseball. First pitch is coming up on the other side. You're listening to Otters Baseball on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and watching on Flow Sports. Almost set from baseball on a Wednesday morning from Avon, Ohio, on the shores of Lake Erie outside of Cleveland. It's the Otters and the Crushers here from Mercy Health Stadium. Evansville trying to at least, maybe not erase, but put behind them some awful memories so far this season here in Avon. The Otters 0-4 to start the season against the Crushers at their home ballpark. J.D. Hammer on the mound today for the Crushers, taking his warm-up pitches. As we mentioned, excellent against the Otters and an excellent season. He's a former Philadelphia Philly, 2 years with the Phillies in 2019 and 2021. 29-year-old righty, 6'3", 210. Now living in Avon, Ohio, a 3-pitch mix of fastball, slider, and changeup for Hammer. 6'3", 210 on the mound. He wears glasses, and he's been excellent against the Otters. 11 1/3 combined innings. He's allowed just 4 hits and 3 runs in those first 2 starts against the Otters. Around him on the diamond, John Tuccillo, the catcher today for Lake Erie, one of the better defensive catchers in the league. Josh Rego at first, Kenwell Thomas Rivera at second base. The all-star shortstop Jared Watkins is at short. Zach Racusin over at third base. In the outfield, Scout Knotts in left field, John Dito Trump in center, and Jack Harris is in right field. Noah Myers getting ready to step into the left-handed batter's box, and we're set for baseball on a hot Wednesday morning here from Lake Erie. Myers steps into the box. Hammer readies on the mound. Black glove set just above the black belt. Looks in on the right side of the rubber, delivers home. First pitch low. We're underway from Mercy Health Stadium. Otters changing their uniforms up today. They're in blue tops with Otters written in white script across the chest and white numerals. The 1-0. Misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. Gray pants for the Otters with black helmets. Lake Erie in their same uniforms as yesterday. Purple, or actually no, they're in different uniforms than yesterday. They were in green yesterday. They're in purple tops today. The 2-0. Popped up into shallow left field. Coming in, Scout Knotts under the baseball and makes the catch. 1 away. Lake Erie in purple tops. Lake Erie written in white across the chest. White piping, white numerals, and white pants. A white cap with a purple brim and the purple Lake Erie logo on the front of the cap. Long white pants for J.D. Hammer all the way down to his white shoes. Working on the far right side of the artificial turf mound. Delivers home to Kona Quiggle, who takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Otters offense fell asleep in the second half of yesterday's game. They mustered just 2 runners over the final 7 innings as Quiggle swings and misses 1-1. Got off to a great start. Had a 3-run second inning, added another run in the third. Looked like a different Otters offense here at Mercy Health Stadium, but that was all the offense they got as Hammer misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Otters did not put a runner in scoring position in the 4th inning or later. 2-1 count to Quiggle, 1 out in the top of the first. Hammer delivers on the inside corner for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 3-pitch mix from Hammer. Fastball gets up to 91-92. But a former big leaguer just 2 years ago. Plenty of great experience. The 2-2. Popped up, high in the air to right field. Back is Harris at the wall. It's gone. Kona Quiggle does it again. His 4th home run of the season against Lake Erie. 1-0 Otters. Quiggle hit 3 home runs against the Crushers last week, including 2 on Thursday. He leads off Wednesday's affair with a massive blast over the right field wall that hit off the bottom of the scoreboard. 393 feet from Quiggle to right. 1-0 Otters as Jeffrey Baez takes the first pitch outside for a ball. From Hammer. Lined into left field. Back is Knotts over his head. Off the warning track. Takes a big off the wall into center field. Baez hustling into second with a stand-up double. The Otters with some offense to start off this Wednesday morning. Otters had only 4 hits against Hammer in his first 2 starts. They have 2 hits off Hammer here in the top of the first. Brings up Dakota Phillips, another lefty batter, playing first base today for the fourth-year Otter. Baez at second with one out, 1-0 Evansville. Hammer home, and misses low. 1 ball and no strikes to Phillips. Quiggle with a solo home run. The Otters, no homers yesterday, breaking a 6-game streak of at least 1 homer in 6 straight games. 1-0, swing and a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike. The Otters' bats continue to hit with excellent power. Now a home run in 7 of their last 8 games. And all but 2 games so far since the All-Star break. One and one. Popped up high in the air, down the left field line. Third baseman Rakusin running into foul territory over his head. And off the top of the mound in the Crusher bullpen. 1-2 count to Phillips. Otters now with 18 home runs in 11 games since the All-Star break. And they've gotten it from 8 different players. Quiggle leading that charge. Now 4 home runs for Kona in the last 8 days. All of those against Lake Erie. 1-2. Bounces in front of home plate. Good stop by Tuchillo with the chest. Keeps the ball in front of him. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. Baez at second. 1-0 Otters on a Quiggle solo home run. It's Kona's 8th overall homer in the year, but how about half of his home runs on the season coming in the last week plus? Two and two. Swing and a foul tip by Phillips, and it hits off the foot of Reed Hoover, right off his right foot. Flexing it out in some pain. He puts his hand up towards the Lake Erie dugout, and trainer Jennifer Hawk saying he's all right. The catcher John Tuchillo out to have a few words with Hammer. J.D. Hammer has looked so dominant. He's looked like a big leaguer, really. His first 2 starts against the Otters. It's surprising to see him struggle because Evansville hasn't seen it all year, but the Otters with 2 early extra base hits off Hammer. And Phillips working a long at bat here. 10 pitches already for Hammer here in the first inning. 2-2 count. Pitch home. Inside, and Phillips has worked the count full. Just a game that the Otters really want to win today to put aside the awful memories they have here at Mercy Health Stadium. Starting 0-4. Payoff home. Grounded right side, right to the second baseman. Thomas Rivera throws to first to beat Phillips. 2 outs, but it does move Baez 90 feet away as he goes from second to third base. Two away, Baez at third. 1-0 Otters here in the top of the first. It brings up Yomar Reyes. Righty third baseman was 1 for 4 yesterday for the Otters. Had a leadoff base hit in the big 3-run second inning for Evansville. Hammer comes home. Reyes chops one left side. Gloved by the third baseman. Rakusin throws to first to beat Reyes by half a stride. A solo home run by Kona Quiggle puts the Otters in front in the top of the first inning. Zach Smith will take the bump for Evansville on the other side. 1-0 Otters on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Bottom of the first inning from Mercy Hill Stadium in Avon, Ohio. Otters lead 1-0. A solo home run by Kona Quiggle starting off the morning for Evansville. Now the ready Zach Smith taking the mound for the Otters. Smith 6-3 on the season in 71 2/3 innings pitched. That's the second most on the Otters. 3.27 ERA for Smith, an impressive batting average against below 220. This is 13th start of the season, and 7 of his first 12 have been quality outings, coming off an excellent 7-inning performance against Empire State last Friday night. Allowed just 3 hits and 1 run and struck out 6 batters in a victory. He's ready on the mound. First pitch home, misses outside to Jundito Trump. Righty batter Trump had a huge day yesterday with 4 RBIs for the Crushers. Righty batter, it's the 1-0. He's lined into center field, down for a base hit. 1 humps in front of Quiggle, and Trump continues his excellent series, leading off with a hit in the first. Jake Green is catching Zach Smith today. 4th straight outing that Green has been the catcher for Smith. That pitcher-catcher battery brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find all your battery needs at 2319 North Green River Road or call at 812-475-9000. First pitch home to Zach Ricusin. Ready, takes low for a ball, 1-0. Smith's second start of the season against Lake Erie, pitched on July 3rd here against the Crushers. The 1-0, right down the middle for a strike, 1-1. Smith worked 6 innings, allowed 4 runs on 4 hits, 7 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Worked the season high 110 pitches. Didn't get any run support from the Otters. Evansville lost 6-0. 1-1. Check swing by Ricusin, and he went around. A half-hearted swing on a ball in the turf, 1-2. Smith allowed all of his hits and all of his runs in that start against Lake Erie, all in the first 2 innings, and then he really found a groove over his last 4 innings of work as the 1-2 misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Smith did not allow a hit over his last 4 innings of work in that start 2 weeks ago against the Crushers. Hoping to get off to a better start here today and find the Zach Smith rhythm we've seen so much of the year. The 2-2, chop left side. Skinder takes it on a hop, throws to second base for the first out. Broughton drops the ball on the glove-to-hand transfer, and the Otters get the force out at second base. Skinder, a rare start at shortstop today for the Otters. Teaming up with Broughton on the middle infield. Broughton gloved it, probably wouldn't have had a play at first base even if he got the ball from glove to hand. Popped out of his glove as he tried to make the exchange. So Ricusin trades places with Trump at first. 1 out, and Todd Isaacs Jr., the batter, takes the first pitch low for a ball. Ethan Skinder at short, Josh Broughton at second, Dakota Phillips at first, and Yomar Reyes at third on the infield for the Otters. 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes to Isaac Jr. Normal outfield for the Otters. Noah Myers in left, Kona Quiggle in center, Jeffrey Baez in right field. Broughton making his 3rd start of the season at second base. 2-0. Bounces in the dirt off the glove of Green over his head and rolling all the way back to the warning track. Down to second goes Ricusin. Advance on the wild pitch. Ball bounced way in front of home plate and took a tough hop on Green. Couldn't keep it in front of him. So runner in scoring position for Lake Erie with 1 out. A 3-0 count to Isaacs Jr. 1-0 the Otters lead. Smith home on the inside corner for a strike, 3-1. Smith delivers. Swing and a miss. Isaacs Jr. lunging at a breaking ball down in the turf. And a full count. Skinder making the start at shortstop today for the Otters. Just the 4th start of the season at short for Skinder. With George Khalil not in the lineup today. Payoff home. Anthony 3 called. Isaacs Jr. didn't like the call, pointing to Reed Hoover that it was low, and still talking back at the home plate umpire as he walks back to the dugout. It was outside and low, according to Yakkertech. Strike 3 called, though, so Smith has his first German-American Bank strikeout of the day. 2 outs. For Houston at second, it brings up the righty Jack Harris. First pitch bounces off home plate. Good stop by Green, 1-0. Two outs, runner at second in the bottom of the first. Otters 1, Crushers nothing. Smith on the right side of the rubber, comes home. It's low, 2 balls and no strikes to Harris. Lake Erie put 11 hits and 6 runs together yesterday to earn the series opening victory. An impressive offensive performance. The 2-0, swing and a miss. Big hack by Harris, 2-1. An impressive offensive performance by a Crushers team that has the worst scoring offense in the league, averaging under 4 runs a game. 2-1 count. Smith flutters the glove, throws. Swing and a miss again. Another fastball at the knees. 90 miles per hour from Zach. 2-2 count with 2 outs. 2-2 in the dirt and a full count. Sun shining brightly on the diamond today. The hazy sky overhead, some smoke from wildfires, but not blocking the sun in any way. Sky isn't very blue though. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Harris strikes out, back-to-back strikeouts for Zach Smith to end the inning. He works around a base hit for a scoreless bottom of the first. We're through 1. It's 1-0 Otters on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Welcome back to Mercy Health Stadium. We move to the bottom of the second inning from Avon, Ohio. The Otters lead 1-0 over the Crushers. Kona Quiggle, a solo home run to right in the top of the first, giving Evansville the lead. And Zach Smith worked around a runner in scoring position in the bottom of the first. Keep the Otters lead intact. J.D. Hammer back out to work the second inning. He'll face Josh Braun, the ready second baseman, to lead off the top of the second. Braun batting 6th today for the Otters after his last few games in the 2 spot. Hammer readies and throws. Line down the left field line and just foul. And McCauley, Otters manager and third base coach, ducking out of the way. A hot shot from Braun. 92 off the bat. 0-1 count to the new Otter. Pitch is low. Check swing by Braun, but held up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Really good crowd on this Wednesday afternoon. Had 1,800 yesterday afternoon. I guess we're still in the morning. The 1-1. This is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. I've been up for so long, it feels like it's the afternoon at this point. Already ate lunch today. But a really good crowd today, maybe 1,000 more than yesterday. Around 2,500. 2-1. Chop left side and foul again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tons of kids in their color-coordinated T-shirts. Lots of summer camps in attendance on another super splash day with lots of water-themed activities along the concourse. A lot of water guns as well. 2-2. Lined into left field right at Knotts, who takes a few steps in, and he makes the snag. 1 away. Groton had a lot of balls hard in that at bat, but hit to the wrong place. 1 away in the top of the second. 1-0 Otters lead. Ethan Skinder, the shortstop, comes to the plate. Skinder led the Otters offense yesterday, the only player with 2 hits. 2 for 4 with an RBI. It was his first multi-hit game since the All-Star break. Ready, hammer home. Misses high, 1 ball and no strikes. Otters offense has really struggled on the road. Evansville's lost 6 of their last 7 road games. 1-0. Popped up high in the air in shallow left, taking a few purple jerseys. Back in is the left fielder, Knotts, and he makes the catch along the line. Ricusen and Watkins, the third baseman and shortstop, both tracking backwards at much harder plays, and Knotts, the left fielder, able to get to the ball along the line and in shallow left in time. 2 outs. Nobody on in the top of the second. It brings up the catcher, Jake Green. Otters leading 1-0. Quiggle a leadoff, or not a leadoff, a second batter of the game, a solo home run. First pitch to Green, low in the turf. 1 ball and no strikes. So Otters have lost 6 of their last 7 road games, and in those 6 losses, they've averaged just under 2 runs a game. 1-0. On the inside corner for a strike, 1-1. Otters have not scored more than 4 runs in 6 of their last 7 overall road games. The only game they scored more than 4 they won. This Green swings and misses 1-2. An 11-run outburst against Tri-City a couple weekends ago. But otherwise, you have to go all the way back to July 2nd, the last time they won a road game. That was Sunday evening game at Joliet, right before they came here to take on the Crushers. Not much offensive late on the road for Evansville. Got a good start yesterday, but couldn't maintain it. 1-2. Hacked at, past the shortstop Watkins into center field, a base hits. Green lunging at a ball way outside the plate, but golfed it into center field. 2 out, single for Green. He's at first. It brings up Brian Rosario. Switch hitter will bat lefty against the ready pitcher Hammer. Rosie, the designated hitter today for the Otters. His first appearance this week here against the Crushers. Hammer comes home. Inside corner, called a strike. Rosie hitting .239 on this season. His 35 stolen bases, second in the Frontier League. Jairus Richards leads the Frontier League now with 39 stolen bases. A 1 from Hammer. Green takes off. Pitch inside. Throw down to second is not in time. Green slid in under the tag. Watkins couldn't find him. And Jake Green has a rare stolen base. Let's see a lot of steals from the Otters catcher. He's into scoring position. And it's a 1-1 count to Rosario with 2 outs. Hammer peeks back at Green at second and delivers. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Rosario. That is Green's first stolen base of the year. The 2-1 popped up right over my head. Over the press box out of play, 2-2. Jake took a really big lead at first. He got a great jump and showed off some good speed. 5'11", 210-pound catcher from Saxe, Texas. 2-2 count with 2 outs to Rosario, and Rosie will call time at the last moment. Hammer takes his time on the mound. He is a patient pitcher and certainly flirts with the pitch clock expiring. Working out of the stretch to Rosario, looks in, sets at the at just above the belt in the black glove, peeks back at second and fires. Breaking ball in the turf, and Rosario has worked it to a full count. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Rosario chases a fastball outside of the zone. Otters get a hit, strand one in scoring position in the top of the second. No runs, 1-0 Otters as we move to the bottom of the second on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Bottom of the second inning for Mercy Hill Stadium in Avon, Ohio. 1-0 lead for the Otters over the Crushers. Kenwell Thomas Rivera, ready batter, leads off against Zach Smith in the bottom of the second inning. Smith fires home. First pitch misses outside to Thomas Rivera. Zach worked around a leadoff base hit by John Dito Trump to scoreless bottom of the first. Pitch home at the knees for a strike. 1-1 to Thomas Rivera. Not a lot of road starts on the season for Zach. Just his 5th road start of the year, the 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. 8 of his first 12 starts at home. Doesn't have a win yet on the road this year. 0-2 with 2 no decisions. 2-1, swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Smith at the chest and throws. Inside and a full count. Zach's not gotten great run support for much of the year. All 3 of his losses this year, the Otters were shut out. That won't happen today. The payoff outside for ball 4. Thomas Rivera leads off the bottom of the second inning with a walk. First walk by Smith. Brings up the All-Star shortstop Jared Watkins, a lefty batter. 1 on, nobody out of the bottom of the second. Otters 1, Crushers 0. Smith fires. Watkins shows bunt, pulls it back, but a strike anyways. The bottom half of the zone. Certainly the zone is extending low today for Reed Hoover. He's calling a lot of strikes at or even below the knees. Thomas Rivera takes off. Watkins pops one up into right field. Baez drifting in to make the catch. Thomas Rivera hustles back to first base without a throw. One away. Brings up Scout Nuts, the left fielder, righty batter with one out and a runner at first. Kona Quiggle, a solo home run in the first inning, giving the Otters a 1-0 lead as Evansville looks to finally earn a win here at Mercy Health Stadium. First pitch home to Nuts. Strike at the knees, 0-1. Otters were swept the only time all year, just 2 weeks ago, here against the Crushers. 0-1, swing and a miss. A foul tip. It was a foul tip off the end of the bat as the ball rolled away in front of the Crusher dugout. 0-2 count to Nuts. Sunny, hot, and humid Wednesday morning. 0-2 count. Inside, and it hit Nuts. Hit him on the left leg. Breaking ball. Out away from Smith. Nuts is aboard. There's 2 on for the Crushers with 1 out. First baseman Josh Rego comes to the plate. Rego making his 16th start of the season. Did not play yesterday for the Crushers, but actually was signed right before that series against the Otters at the beginning of July. Had a good series and is hitting .280 on the year. That's the second best batting average for Lake Erie. 2 on, 1 out. Smith home. Line into right field, a base hit. Thomas Rivera is held up at third. Good throw in by Baez way down the third base line. Green races after it. Cut the ball off, and the bases are loaded for Lake Erie. Thomas Rivera at third, Knotts at second, Rego at first with the base hit. The number 9 batter, the catcher, John Tuchillo, to the plate. Now where to put him for Smith with 1 out in the bottom of the second, the Otters leading 1-0. Smith comes home. Inside, and it hit Tuchillo. Hit him right on the left elbow guard. The second hit batter of the inning for Smith. It walks home a run. Thomas Rivera scores. And everyone else moves ahead of base. Knotts to third, Rego to second, Tuchillo on at first. Just 1 hit in the inning for Lake Erie. 2 hit batters and a walk, though, for Smith. And Max Peterson, the Otters pitching coach, walking out to chat with Smith. Even though there's only 1 walk for Smith, he's fallen behind a lot of batters, even in the first inning. A lot of 2-0 counts. Command not super sharp to start the day for Zach Smith. Struggled a couple times this season with his command. Has 2 outings where he walked 5 batters. It's been pretty sharp of late. Hit batters were a huge problem for the Otters last Wednesday in their loss to Lake Erie. An issue here in the second inning as Lake Erie's tied it at 1. Long conversation with Max Peterson and Zach Smith. And now Max Peterson talking with home plate umpire Reed Hoover as he walks back to the Otters dugout. One out, bases loaded, back to the top of the order for Lake Erie and the center fielder, John Dito Trump. What a series he's had already. 3 hits now for Trump on the series as he lays down a bunt. It goes under the glove of Smith, picked up by Braun. He'll glove toss to first, not in time. Lake Erie takes the lead. Trump, safety squeeze, laying down a hard bunt to the right side. It went right under the glove of Zach Smith, who might have even had a play at the plate if he was able to glove it. Broughton did all he could Straight glove toss over to first, but he couldn't beat Trump, so Trump's aboard at first. The base is still loaded with one out for Zach Rakusin. First pitch home is grounded left side, right to Skinder. He throws to second base for the first out to first. Bouncer under the glove of Smith, and it bounces into the Otters dugout. Rego scores, and Tuchillo scores at third on the pass ball, and just like that, the Crushers have put up 4 runs in the inning and lead 4-1. 2 outs in the inning, and a strange and unfortunate set of circumstances here for the Otters in the bottom of the second. A 6-4 ground out for Rakusin. The Otters couldn't turn the double play, though, and it ended up costing them not 1 but 2 runs. It's the first pitch low to Todd Isaacs Jr. So, to recap, bases loaded. Rakusin grounds one to short. The Otters turn the double play, and neither Rego or Tuchillo scores. Rego scores, and then the ball got away from Phillips as Isaacs Jr. grounds one foul left side. Ball got away from Phillips, bounced on over his glove and right into the Otters dugout, out of play. The ball goes out of play. Each runner advances the base. So Tuchillo, that was at third, got to walk on home. Feels like out of nowhere, Lake Erie's put a huge number up in the second. A 1-1 swing and a miss. 1 balls and 2 strikes. And just like Zach Smith's last start against Lake Erie 2 weeks ago here, 4 runs coming across in the first 2 innings. 2-2. Liner right to Broughton at second, reaches up the glove and makes the catch. That retires the side, but 4 runs for the Crushers in the bottom of the second. A lead after 2 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Welcome back to Mercy Hill Stadium. We move to the top of the 3rd inning. 4-1 lead for Lake Erie over Evansville, and Andy McCauley has been thrown out of the game. I didn't see where the interaction started. Andy McCauley, the third base coach for the Otters as well, but the Crushers up to bat at some point came out of the dugout after the inning ended and got right up in the face of the third base umpire, Clark Morgan, And thrown out of the game, and then McCauley getting his money's worth. A long conversation up in the face with Clark Morgan. Max Peterson wasn't happy either with the umpiring when he went out to talk with Zach Smith. He had an animated conversation with the home plate umpire, Reed Hoover. So Andy McCauley thrown out for the 5th time this season. And the Otters will have Max Peterson now fill in as the interim manager, and Bobby Siegel will now serve as the third base coach for the Otters for the remainder of the game, Evansville's hitting coach. Top of the 3rd inning, a little brief delays. McCauley had to walk all the way down the third base line to exit and head to the Otters clubhouse. Noah Myers, top of the lineup, leading off for the Otters. J.D. Hammer comes home, and Myers takes a strike at the knees. Hammer, the first time through the Otters lineup, allowed the solo run to Quiggle. 2 other hits, no walks, 1 strikeout. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Myers chasing one down in the turf, 0-2. 4-1, the Crushers lead. A 4-run bottom of the 2nd inning. It was really hit batters and a walk that were Zach Smith and the Otters undoing. Only 2 hits in the inning. The 0-2 bounces in front of home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Myers. Thomas Rivera lit off with the walk after a flyout. Scott Knox was hit. Josh Rego lined a base hit into right to load the bases with 1 out. Smith hit to Chillo to walk home a run. 1-2. Lined into right field. This ball down for a base hit. 2 hopping into right center. Myers takes a big turnaround first. Relayed in by Harrison Wright. And Noah Myers leads off the top of the 3rd inning with a base hit. So the Otters looking for a response after the 4-run second for Lake Erie. Myers starts it off with a base hit. Otters already have 4 hits off J.D. Hammer, only in the top of the 3rd inning. First pitch home to Kona Quiggle, swing and a miss. Lake Erie, all 4 of the runs were scored on balls that did not leave the infield. 0-1 coming to Quiggle. Hammer will step off, fire back to first. Myers safely back without attack. Crusher scored the first run on the hit batter. Second run scored on a Trump bunt base hit, a ball that went under the glove of Zach Smith. And Broaden at second made a valiant effort to glove flip over to first, but wasn't in time. The 0-1, Myers takes off. Good throw down to second. Myers safe, though. Good jump by Noah Myers. John Tuchillo's thrown out more batters than any other catcher in the Frontier League. He made a rocket of a throw, but Myers with an excellent jump, and he's into scoring position. It's Noah Myers' 22nd stolen base of the season. That was 22 for 23 stealing bases this year. So he's at second with nobody out. 0-2 count to Quiggle. Hammer fires home. Swing and a miss. Quiggle strikes out, 1 away. So to finish recapping that 2nd inning, the 2nd run score on a bunt base hit, and the Otters couldn't get an out either, which was big. Houston then grounded one to the left side to Skinner, the shortstop. He got the force out at second. The Otters had a chance to turn the double play, but the ball, Broaden's throw to first, bounced in front of Phillips over his glove and rolled all the way into the Otters dugout, resulting in 2 runs scored. And that capped the 4-run inning for Lake Erie. Otters turned the double play, then the inning was over and just 2 runs come across. That was a big moment in the ball game. First pitch misses low to the ready Jeffrey Baez. Hunter at second with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. The Otters trailing 4-1. Hammer steps off, and off the mound, just looking back Myers to second base. Too much tomfoolery from Noah Myers for J.D. Hammer. Makes another look back at him. Myers working out of the stretch, ball behind his back, glove at his chest as he looks in for the sign from Tuccillo. Peeking back at Myers, pitch clock down to 5 seconds. Wines delivers, bounces in front of home plate off the mask of Tuccillo and rolls all the way to in front of the Crusher dugout. Tuccillo running after it and just able to pick it up right before it rolled into the Crusher dugout. So Myers to third with 1 out. The Otters a good chance here to add back a run in the 3rd inning. Stolen base by Myers and now advancing on the wild pitch. 1 out and it's a 2-0 count to Baez. The 2-0. High chopper left side and well foul. Bounces off the railing in front of the seats. 2-1. Really good crowd today with a lot of summer camps in attendance on a super splash day here in Avon. It is a steamy Wednesday, somehow still the morning, almost the afternoon. 2-1. Inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Solo home run by Kona Quiggle in the first, giving the Otters an early lead. Evansville's now scored first in 8 straight games. But they trail now 4-1. The 3-1, swing and a miss. Good breaking ball by Hammer. A slider falling out of the zone and a full count to Baez. Another eventful start to a ball game between the Otters and the Crushers. Yesterday certainly had its theatrics as well. The payoff, swing and a miss. Slider, then the changeup for Hammer. Horizontal movement, vertical movement down. Big league stuff from J.D. Hammer, the former Philadelphia Philly. The 2nd out of the inning. 3 strikeouts now for Hammer. So he brings up Dakota Phillips, lefty first baseman. Otters trail 4-1 here in the top of the 3rd inning. First pitch home, Phillips pops one up high in the sky down the left field line. Rakusin giving chase. It bounces right into the first row of seats and back out onto the field. Otters trying to avoid their 5th consecutive defeat here at Mercy Health Stadium to start the season. A 1 to Phillips. Popped up. Foul again, 0-2. Otters did not fare well here last year either. They were swept in the first series of the year against the Crushers, but they bounced back in the 2nd series against Lake Erie. Took 2 of 3. They'd love to be able to do that this week, but they're going to need to come from behind if they want to force a rubber match tomorrow. The 0-2 popped up into right field, taking Harris a few strides in under the ball, and he reaches up and makes the catch. A leadoff double by Myers, but he's stranded at 3rd. We move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's 4-1 Lake Erie on the Otters Digital Network. Welcome back to Mercy Hill Stadium in Avon, Ohio. Lake Erie leads Evansville 4-1 as we move to the bottom of the third inning. The Crushers offense seems to find a way against Evansville pitching time and time again. The worst scoring offense in the league. They put up 6 runs on 11 hits yesterday. A 4-run bottom of the second today to give them a 4-1 lead. Zach Smith out for his third inning of work. First pitch home, misses low to the ready batter, Jack Harris. Just 26 pitches for Smith. It wasn't a laborious second inning, even though 4 runs came across, in part because he hit 2 batters. Harris swings, grounds one left side. Skinder diving to pick it up. Throw from his knees in time. Wow. Phillips picks it off the turf. What a play by Ethan Skinder. Can't believe that throw got there. A full extension diving stop from Skinder on the edge of the left field turf, and a throw from his knees for the typical second baseman, making just his 5th start at short this year. What a throw to get all the way to Phillips, 1 up, and somehow beat Harris. So 1 away. Kenwell Thomas Rivera takes the first pitch low that skips back to the backstop. Ethan Skinder feels like every other day makes a play on the infield that amazes. The 1-0 is swung on and driven into right field. Baez going back. It's down for a base hit. Baez cuts it off at the warning track, but sliding safely into second is Thomas Rivera. A double for the second baseman to right. And the Crushers have another runner in scoring position for the 3rd straight inning. Thomas Rivera not having a great offensive season, hitting .234, but he had 2 hits yesterday. Leadoff walk and run in the second, and now a double to right here in the 3rd. 1 out, 1 on, and it brings up the shortstop, Jared Watkins. Smith fires home, misses in the turf, 1-0. Four to 1, Lake Erie leads Evansville here in the bottom of the 3rd inning on another Kids Super Splash Day from Avon. 1-0 home. He's low. 2 balls and no strikes. Smith peeks back at second and comes home. Again, misses low. 3 balls and no strikes. It's just been a command problem today for Zach Smith, hitting the 2 batters in a walk in the second. He's fallen behind a fair amount of batters as well. Similar to Justin Watland yesterday. No rhythm at all. A lot of runners on base, a lot of traffic. It's been a difficult morning. The 3-0 on the inside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. The 3-1 lined into left field over the glove of Skinder. Thomas Rivera is held at third. A base hit for Watkins to left over the glove of the shortstop Skinder. 5th hit of the day for the Crushers. I don't know what it is at Mercy Hill Stadium when the Otters come into town, but the Crushers seem to find their bats, and they're doing it again today. Runners on the corners with 1 out. The left fielder Scout Knotts to the plate. Crushers have won just 1 of their last 11 series dating back to mid-June. But if they win today, they'll win their 2nd against the Otters in the last 2 weeks. Knotts takes the first pitch outside for a ball. So plenty of time for Evansville to start mounting a comeback. But Smith needs to get out of this. The 1-1 popped up and out of play, 1-2. Smith on the far right side of the rubber. High set and a throw. High. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and two. In the dirt, Green sliding to his right to keep it in front of him. Good stop and a full count now to Knotts. Knotts was hit back in the second. Just made his debut on Sunday for the Crushers. Had a 2-hit day yesterday, including a double. Payoff pitch in the dirt for ball 4. Second walk of the day for Smith, and it loads the bases again in the bottom of the third. Thomas Rivera at third base, Watkins at second, Knotts at first. Josh Rego, the righty first baseman, to the plate. Crushers loaded the bases in the second inning, and 4 runs ended up coming across. They lead 4-1 here in the bottom of the third. Smith fires home. It's low, 1 ball and no strikes. It's just not been a lot of first pitch strikes today from Smith. Everything's been a fight, a battle from behind to catch up. The 1-0. Right down the middle, 1 ball and 1 strike to Rego. Rego had a base hit in the second, which loaded the bases. Now up with the bases loaded in the third. 1-1 from Smith. Bounces again at home plate. Green down to a butterfly to block it back in front of home plate. 2 balls and 1 strike to Rego. Otters bullpen milling around, and as I say that, Otters getting a bullpen catcher out, and someone's going to start throwing. The 2-1, outside for ball 3. James Crick is going to start soft tossing in the Otters bullpen. Three and 1 count to Rego with the bases loaded and 1 out in the bottom of the third. Smith home. It's outside for ball 4. Rego walks, and another run will walk home for Lake Erie. Thomas Rivera scores from third. Watkins advances to third base, Knotts to second. Rego will board at first. The bases are still loaded with 1 out, and it's 5-1 Crushers as they score their first run of the third inning. And Max Peterson walking back out to the mound. James Crick, who has been used for the Otters in these longer relief situations for Evansville when a starting pitcher can't make it through 5 innings, is the guy warming right now in the bullpen. Has not been Zach Smith's day today on the mound. Only 1 time all season that Smith has allowed more than 4 runs up until today. Allowed 7 runs against Tri-City back in June. 5 across today. First pitch home to Don Chuchillo. Misses low for a ball. Bases loaded, 1 out in the third. 5-1 Lake Erie leads. One 0 is low again. 2 balls and no strikes. Most of Smith's misses today have been low and in the turf. Two pitch. High chopper, left side. It will bounce foul. Got some spin on the baseball, and it kicked to the left. So reached about halfway to third base. 2-1 count to Chuchillo. 4 runs in the second for Lake Erie. They've added another here in the third. All 5 runs that have scored today for the Crushers on balls that did not leave the infield. Two and one. Liner right side, off the glove of Braun, picks it back up with the right hand, throws to first in time for the out. But Watkins scores from third base, and it's 6-1 Lake Erie. Nearly disaster again for the Otters infield. Braun, just his 3rd start of the year at second base, able to knock it down with the glove and collect it with the bare hand and beat Tuchillo on the throw. So 2 outs, back to the top of the order, and Jandito Trump. Runners at second and third, Knotts at third, Rego at second. Trump is 2 for 2 today with 2 base hits. First pitch home, a chopper left side, stays fair. Glove by the third baseman. Reyes throw to first in time. Phillips had to hop up and make the catch, but got the foot back down on the bag. That ends the inning. 2 more runs come across in the third for Lake Erie. It's 6-1 Crushers over the Otters on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Three innings complete for Mercy Health Stadium here in Avon, Ohio. It's 6-1 Lake Erie over Evansville. 6 unanswered by the Crushers, 4 in the second, 2 more in the third. And Lake Erie with a 5-run lead over the Otters. Yomar Reyes leads off the top of the 4th. J.D. Hammer fires home a first pitch strike on the inside corner. Well, the Otters offense that's been very quiet for much of July on the road will need to come alive now. 0-1. Bounces low. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Crushers have put up 6 runs for a second straight day, and they've done it all in just 2 innings. 1-1. He is chopped left side, backhanded by the shortstop Watkins. Long throw across the diamond in time, just beats Reyes by half a stride. Want to make your lawn and landscape look like a field of dreams? Make sure you use 10 Barge Professional brand products. Pick them up at any of our 3 locations, beautifying the communities we live in and the grass we walk and play on, all since 1940. 1 out for Josh Broughton and nobody on. First pitch home. It sails high. 1-0 to Broughton. Hammer delivers. Broughton takes low, 2-0. It's time for a check of the Frontier League standings, brought to you by Seal Corp. 2-0 pitch coming from Hammer. Here it is. Chop left side over the third base bag. A fair ball. Rakusin gloves it. Throw to first. Scooped. Oh, by Rego in time for the out. Wow, what a play by Rakusin and Rego. Josh Broughton not happy with the call, and Billy Easley, the Otters' first base coach, intercedes to get Broughton back to the dugout and make sure he stays in the game. What a play by Rakusin on a pretty softly hit ball to the left side. It took a while to get to his glove. Backhand behind the third base bag and a bullet of a throw across. Rego picks it off the turf. 2 away here in the top of the fourth. Hammer fires home to Ethan Skinder. It misses high 1-0. Skinder had a great play in the bottom of the third inning on a full extension diving stop and then throw from his knees for the out at first. And Rakusin with a equally as good play. The 1-0 popped up high in the air to left field. It's taking knots back at the warning track. The wall, it's gone. Ethan Skinder, a home run, and the Otters get one back in the fourth. Skinder continues his great week here in Lake Erie, his third hit of the series and his 5th home run of the season. Wind blowing out to left. That ball was only 299, but it perfectly landed right over the fence and just to the right of the third base foul pole. So Skinder pokes one out. A solo home run for the Otters cuts the lead to 4 as Jake Green takes the first pitch high for a ball. 2 solo home runs for Evansville. Quiggle in the first, and now Skinder here in the fourth. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Big hack by Green, 1-1. 5 hits for the Otters. Lake Erie also has 5 hits, but the walks and the hit batters costing Zach Smith and Evansville. The 1-1 chopped foul of the first base bag, 1-2. We'll save the standings update for the bottom of the fourth inning. Might quickly turn into a couple interesting plays here in the top of the fourth. The 1-2 misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Green. Crushers scored 4 in the second, 2 more in the third to take a 6-2 lead. Otters had an early lead yesterday and couldn't hold it. And the same things happened today. 2-2, swing and a miss. Ball on the turf, goes behind Tuchillo, picks it back up, throw to first in time to beat Green. A solo home run for Skinder gets one back for the Otters, but they trail 6-2 as we move to the bottom of the fourth inning on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. 6-2 lead for Lake Erie over Evansville. We move to the bottom of the fourth inning from Avon, Ohio. It's a sunny and hot day, a Wednesday afternoon. It's all Crushers. Zach Smith out to work the bottom of the fourth. Righty fires home. First pitch misses low to Zachary Hewson, 1-0. Crick was warming up in the Otters bullpen in the third, but he sat down for now. Smith is only at 50 pitches. 1-0. Low again. 2 balls and no strikes to Rick Hewson. And it's deja vu right now for Smith. Falling behind batter after batter. He's walked 3 and hit 2 batters. 2-0. Chopped left side. Skinner will play it back. Throw to first in time to beat Rick Hewson by a stride. 1 out. All right, now it's time for a check of the Frontier League standings. Brought to you by Seal Corp. Gateway snapping their 6-game losing streak yesterday and winning their opener against Windy City. So the Otters enter the day 2.5 games back of Gateway atop the Frontier League West. Schaumburg beat Ottawa as well yesterday. Come from behind victory for the Boomers as Todd Isaacs Jr. takes the first pitch strike. So Schaumburg a game back of Gateway, and the Otters a game and a half back of Schaumburg. Still sitting very comfortably in third place in the Frontier League West. The 0-1. Misses low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Joliet, Washington, Windy City, Lake Erie, and Florence. Still all just separated by 2 games. The bottom 5 in the Frontier League West. 1-1. Bounces in front of home plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Lake Erie 11 games back of first and sitting right now in 7th out of 8 in the Frontier League West as Isaacs Jr. calls time. Quebec won again last night in the West, or in the East, I should say. They beat Florence down in Kentucky. 14 wins in a row for the Capitales, which is their franchise record now. 2-1 in the dirt. 3 balls and 1 strike. If you're wondering, the Frontier League win record, it's 20 wins in a row, which Southern Illinois accomplished. Of course, franchise, the minors that no longer exist. 3-1. Grounded left side. Reyes down to a knee to field it off a nasty hop throw to first. Beats Isaacs Jr. 2 outs. Nifty play by Reyes. He made it look so easy on a really hard hit ball that took a big hop in front of him. And Ilmar did it all so casually. Well, for the first time today, Zach Smith has retired the first 2 batters of an inning. 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the fourth for Jack Harris. Smith comes home, and Harris fouls the first pitch away to the right. So Quebec's won 14 in a row. New Jersey won last night, as is Tri-City. They're both a game and a half back of the Capitales in the East. That's your Frontier League standings update brought to you by Seal Corp. The 0-1 inside, and it hit Harris. Hit him off the back of the foot. Another breaking ball and took kind of a weird turn and hit him off the heel. Hit batter number 3 for Zach Smith. So Harris at first with 2 outs. It brings up Kenwell Thomas Rivera, the second baseman, who has reached both times today and scored both times. First pitch home. Strike on the inside corner. 60 pitches now for Zach Smith, looking for the last out of the bottom of the fourth as Lake Erie leads 6-2. The 0-1, bouncing in front of home plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. Eight of 9 Crushers have reached today. Already a 2-hit day for Jandito Trump, and Thomas Rivera leading the way with his 2 runs. The 1-1. At the knees for a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Every run for the Crushers is scored on a ball that's not left the infield, while the Otters 2 runs, both on solo homers. 1-2. Misses high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. Chop left side over the third base bag, a fair ball. Rolling into the Crusher bullpen. Harris hustling around. He's sent from third. The throw comes in. It's cut off. Harris scores 7-2 Lake Erie. Thomas Rivera with his second double of the day brings home Harris, but Thomas Rivera is down in a heap at second base. Holding his leg and somewhere on his race into second and slide in. Had to tweak something. Still down on his knees is the Lake Erie athletic trainer Jennifer Hawk checking on Thomas Rivera. I'll be ashamed to end his day on an injury. What a day already for the second baseman from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Back-to-back days with 2 hits for Thomas Rivera. 2 doubles and already 2 runs today. Graduate of Tarleton State. Now back up on his legs, which is good to see. Then Skinder could show his sportsmanship, gives him a pat on the back. And he's going to be able to continue. Now Thomas Rivera's up and doing a little doubles dance. Got to make sure to get your doubles dance in. The Otters have a doubles dance. Pretty mainstay of each team. Good way to have some fun. So Thomas Rivera, an RBI double, makes it 7-2 Lake Erie. Jared Watkins, the lefty batter, takes the first pitch strike on the inner third. Crushers have scored in 3 straight innings. Now James Crick is throwing again in the Evansville bullpen. 0-1. Breaking ball outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Seven runs, tied for the most runs Smith has allowed this season in any outing. 1-1. Chopped at, high in the air. Heading up and, right off the window to my left. My goodness. It was heading close to me. I didn't realize it was that close. Just 2 windows down from me, and the score and scoreboard operator is sitting the other side of the glass. It hit right off the base of the window. Their windows are closed though. 1-2 outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And I guess they made the windows glass proof. Was hoping we wouldn't find out the hard way. They're baseball proof, as they should be at a ballpark. But you'd be surprised, you go to some ballparks and they say you got to open the windows because they're not baseball proof. 2-2. Popped up again left side in a similar spot, but sailing over the roof and out of play. I don't know what architects were thinking in those ballparks where they designed it and built windows that could not take a foul ball. You're at a baseball diamond. It's like making tables at a restaurant that can't serve food. As Watkins swings, drives one down the left field line, and that bounces foul into the Lake Erie bullpen. Or more tables at a restaurant that can't, I can't put my turkey down on the table because it'll be too heavy for it. Seven to 2, the Crushers lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-2 home. Misses high over the glove of Green and all the way back to the backstop. Thomas Rivera goes down to third base, and now a full count. Payoff coming. Pitch outside for ball 4. A walk to Watkins. Runners on the corners now with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. 7-2 lead for Lake Erie. It's the 4th walk of the day for Smith, and it's his last batter he'll face. Max Peterson walking on out to make the change. James Crick coming into the ball game for the Otters with 2 outs, runners on the corners. Lake Erie leads 7-2 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Welcome back to Mercy L Stadium in Avon, Ohio, outside of Cleveland. 7-2 lead for Lake Erie over Evansville. James Crick coming into the ballgame for the Otters in the bottom of the 4th inning in relief for Zach Smith. Crick's 21st appearance of the season, 3.58 ERA and 28 2/3 innings pitched. 25 strikeouts, but also does have 21 walks on the season. His last inning was against the Crushers last Wednesday. Things did not go well for Crick or the Otters in that outing. In an inning, he allowed 4 runs, walked 2, allowed a hit, and hit a couple batters as well. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Scout Knotts is the ready batter. Crick comes home. A strike into Knotts, 0-1. Crick at his best has been excellent, though, for the Otters. He's provided a great service a few times, eating up some key innings for Evansville and keeping the Otters in ball games. Trying to do that here and hold the lead at 5. The 0-1. Oh, time called very late. Dakota Phillips is not happy that time was granted at first base, putting his arms up in the air. The Otters' frustration with the umpires continuing today, so we'll do the 0-1 all over again. Very late time grounded by Reed Hoover at home. 0-1. Sails high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitching change brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East. You can find all your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road in Evansville. Or call at 812-475-9000. 1-1. Right down the middle, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Knotts. Just the 3rd outing for Crick since the All-Star break. Guy has worked as long as 2 2/3 innings this year for the Otters. 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lake Erie scored in 3 straight innings, 4 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, and 1 more here in the 4th. The 2-2, chopped at, fouled away out of play, and Knotts just stays alive. 7 runs on 6 hits, no errors for Lake Erie. The Otters 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. Both Otter runs on solo home runs, one from Quickle, one from Skinder. Evansville's power surge continuing today. 2-0, outside, and it's a full count now with 3 balls and 2 strikes. Crick working out of the stretch, peeks over at first. Brown beige glove, sets at the belt, and delivers. High for ball 4. Knotts has a walk. Last Wednesday, the Otters losing to Lake Erie 14-9, and a big part of that game was walks and hit batters. The Otters walked 9 batters and hit 4 in that game, and right now is feeling a little similar 1 week ago from that fateful Wednesday night at Bosse Field. Gonna get a pinch runner here. Scout Knotts coming out of the game, and he's gonna be pinch run for by Sean Cheely at first base. Cheely's got good speed, so he will take the spot of Knotts at first. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Josh Rego. How about the 3rd time that Rego has come up to the plate with the bases loaded? Pitch home, inside, 1-0. Rego had a base hit with the bases loaded in the 2nd. He walked in the 3rd to walk home a run, and now he's back up with the bases loaded for a 3rd straight inning. 1-0 from Crick. Right down the middle, 1 ball and 1 strike. Seven to 2, Lake Erie leads here in the bottom of the 4th inning. One and 1. This is low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Crushers scored those 14 runs last Wednesday. They have 7 again today. These are the only 2 games for Lake Erie over the last 14 played that they've scored more than 4 runs. 2 and 1. At the knees for a strike, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Crushers team that, as we've mentioned numerous times, last in the league in scoring, 3.7 runs a game. 3rd worst in the league in batting average at 237. But something about facing the Otters pitchers, which of course the Otters staff the best in the league statistically, but something about it for the Lake Erie bats brings out the best in them. 2 and 2, outside and a full count. Certainly the walks and hit batters not helping today for Evansville. Payoff from Crick. Chopped at up the middle. Braun backhands it, gloves it, steps up, throw to first in time to beat Rego. And that ends the inning. Great play by Josh Brodin at second base to rob a ball that looked destined for center field, and then making a throw from his knees to beat out Rego at first. So the Otters escape the 4th with only 1 run across. We move to the top of the 5th inning. 7 to 2, the Crushers lead on the Otters Digital Network. Top of the 5th inning for Mercy L Stadium. 7 to 2 lead for Lake Erie over Evansville. J.D. Hammer has had a choppy start with a lot of long innings for the Crushers. He's out to work the top of the 5th on the bump. Delivers home to Brian Rosario. Switch hitter batting lefty. Takes the first pitch strike. With Chile pinch running for Knotts in the fourth. Chile takes his spot in left field. 0-1. Rosario shows bunt, lunges at one, and fouls it off the end of the bat. 0-2. Not a cloud in the sky today, but a hazy sky with some smoke. Sunny, humid, and windy. The last Wednesday of July. August is somehow almost here. 0-2 from Hammer. Fouled straight back by Rosario. Stays alive 1-2. Otters have 5 hits off J.D. Hammer after Justin Gambor 4 hits off Hammer in his first 2 starts again. They found some offensive success, but only run scoring on solo homers as the 0-2 misses inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And to win, everything in some way or another has to come together. The pitching has to be solid. The bats have to have a consistent good day. The 1-2 is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the Otters have not been able to piece both together in one day so far here in Avon, Ohio. Lost the first 4 games here at Mercy Health Stadium. 2-2. Chopped foul again by Rosario. Hammer at 57 pitches here in the top of the 5th inning. Lake Erie's got an excellent bullpen, but talking to Kyle and Andy, the voices of the Crushers, it's definitely a tired bullpen over the course of this season. They've dealt with a lot of injuries this year. 2-2. Inside a full count to Rosario. It's really key every game that the Crusher starter goes as long as possible. Villalobos made it through 5 innings yesterday for Lake Erie. Hammer has shown good length against the Otters so far this year. Looking to complete his 5th inning of work here. The payoff is chopped foul. It sounds like a broken bat. It is. Rosario pointing to the Otters dugout, asking for a new one. Come out to deliver the new stick of lumber. Rosie and Hammer, this is quite a long at bat. Pitch number 9 coming up. Rosario digging back into the left-handed batter's box. Just past the hour-and-a-half mark of baseball. Still just in the top of the 5th inning. Another payoff pitch coming. Hammer throws. It misses low for ball 4. Rosario on board. For landscape design that is truly unique, look to locally owned Wild Horticulture. Whether you need a team to design and construct a large-scale landscape project for your business, or looking to create an epic backyard retreat complete with plants, water, and light installation, the experienced team at Wild can take your ideas to the next level. You've likely seen their creative work all over town. Wild Horticulture has the skills and resources to deliver inspiring spaces and bring your ideas to life. If you have a project in mind, you can find them on Instagram and at wildspaces.com. Hammer ready on the bump to face Noah Myers, but he steps off and throws back to first. Brian Rosario dives back in safely under the throw. I think that's the first time I have completed the Wild Horticulture ad read in between batters without having to bring the read into a pitch or 2. Hammer comes home. Myers takes outside 1-0. Now, Wild Horticulture sounds pretty cool, and they have a lot to say. It is a lengthy ad read. Rosario a 3-stride lead at first. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th. 1-0 count to Myers. Pitch home. Inside again. 2 balls and no strikes. No action in the Crusher pad. No, a couple guys milling around and standing up. Ready at a moment's notice to start getting loose. The 2-0, Rosario takes off, pitches low, and it's dropped by Tuchillo as he came up to make the throw. Rosie safe into second with his 36th stolen base of the season. I don't think Tuchillo would have had a chance even if he got the ball off. One of the fastest guys in the Frontier League, Brian Rosario. Sits second with 36 stolen bases in the Frontier League. Jarris Richards of Gateway has been red hot on the bases of late. He's at 39, and Chase Dawson sitting right behind Rosario at 34. Dawson of Schaumburg. The 3-0 misses outside. And just like that, 2 straight walks by Hammer to start the top of the 5th. Well, Evansville is well aware of how walks can lead to big innings, and Evansville's got a chance here in the 5th. Long at bat to Rosario, worked a walk on the 9th pitch, and now Myers a 4-pitch walk. Jason Gardowski, the pitching coach for Lake Erie, walking out to the mound to talk with the former Philadelphia Philly, J.D. Hammer. And the Crushers getting a bullpen catcher ready and likely someone to start throwing. Rosario at second, Myers at first. Nobody out in the top of the 5th inning. The Otters 2 runs both by the solo homer. Quiggle in the first, Skinder in the 4th. They need a big number on the scoreboard, trailing by 5 here in the top of the 5th. Reed Hoover, home plate umpire, breaks up the meeting. See if Hammer can find his command here as he faces Kona Quiggle. Quiggle has been quite the crusher killer so far this year. He had an incredible series against Lake Erie last week. 7 hits, 5 runs, 3 homers, and 9 batted in the 3 games last week against Lake Erie. And now, earlier today, hitting his 4th homer against the Crushers. 2 on, nobody out. Hammer ready on the bump. Lefty Quiggle awaits. The pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes. Kona hitting .282 on the season for the Otters. He's done a little bit of everything for Evansville. 3rd on the team in hits, 3rd on the team in runs batted in. Tied for 1st in most walks on the year. 1-0. Bounces in front of home plate. 2 balls and no strikes to Kona. He's on a now 16-game on-base streak. That's a season high for Kona. He's had a really good month of July. Crushers are now getting a guy soft tossing in the pen as Hammer has thrown 7 straight balls. At the belt, and the delivery. Outside for ball 3. This is getting interesting here in the top of the 5th. 8 straight balls thrown by Hammer. 3-0 count to Quiggle with 2 on and nobody out. Otters trailing by 5. The 3-0 catches the outside corner finally for a strike to Hammer. Three and 1 count to Kona. The pitch home. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 and a full count. Kona was looking for his 2nd homer of the day. Full count to Quiggle, and this feels like a big pitch here for the Otters in their comeback bid. Hammer at the belt. Winds and throws. Inside for ball 4. 3 walks in a row by J.D. Hammer to start the top of the 5th inning. Jeffrey Baez, a dangerous bat, comes to the plate with the bases loaded. 1 swing away from Evansville being right back in the baseball game. Rosario at 3rd, Myers at 2nd, Quiggle at 1st. Nobody out on the top of the 5th as the Otters trail 7-2. Big righty Thomas Bruss is warming in the Lake Erie pen, but for now, Hammer will stay on the mound to face the home run Otters leader Jeffrey Baez. 14 home runs on the season. Hammer home. Low. It's right below the feet of Don Chuchillo. He couldn't find it for a moment, spun around looking for it, and then looked down and realized it was right under him. Everyone stays put. 1-0 count to Baez. He had a double back in the first, struck out in the third. The 1-0. Chopped off the end of the bat, foul. 1-1. Bress was so late to warm up. I'm just not sure he's ready, even if the Crushers wanted to take Hammer out of the ballgame. Risky move, though, to leave the former big leaguer on the mound after walking the first 3 batters of the inning. The 1-1. Chopped again, left side. It is foul. It hit off home plate. Stayed fair once it hit off the plate, but actually, I think it might have also hit off the foot of Baez. He's limping a little bit as well. A similar swing on a similar pitch, in on the hands. Baez just fighting it off. 1-2 count. Bases loaded, nobody out on the top of the 5th. Otters trailing 7-2. Hammer working out of the stretch, sets just above the belt. Sets the left foot. Now he winds and throws. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball. Baez strikes out. 1 away. That'll bring up Dakota Phillips with 1 out. The base is still loaded. Dakota 0 for 2 today. Is yet to have a hit in this series. 0 for 6 on the series. Did reach on an air yesterday and come around to score. Lefty batter to face the ready pitcher. First pitch popped up and fouled away left side. Dakota's had a lot of success at the plate lately. 8 hits, including 3 doubles over his last 6 games, dating back to second game of the homestand last week. 0-1. Popped up high in the air to center field. Trump a few steps from the track under the ball and makes the catch for the second out. Rosario will tag from third and score for the 3rd run of the game for Evansville. It trims the lead to 4. Wasn't the big hit the Otters were looking for, but they'll get a run back. Back-to-back runs for the Otters. A run apiece in the 4th and the 5th. And still a chance for more here in the 5th inning. Myers to third. Quiggle stays at first. Yomar Reyes the batter. Ready third baseman 0 for 2 today. Hammer trying to escape the mess he's created. Comes home. A strike down the middle to Reyes. 3 straight walks to start the inning for J.D. Hammer, but he's retired the last 2 batters and an out away from maintaining a comfortable lead for the Crushers. 0-1. Lined into left center field. This ball will get down for extra bases. Myers scores, hustling all the way around from first is Quiggle to score without a throw, and Evansville's back in the ball game. Yomar Reyes comes through with the big hit, a 2-out, 2 RBI double. Ball right over the heart of the plate, and Reyes lines it to left center field. Scoring Myers easily from third and Quiggle on his horse from first. It's 7-5, 3 runs across in the 5th. First pitch to Josh Braun, a broken bat flare. 1 hop to Jared Watkins. The shortstop throw to first in time to beat Braun, and the side is retired. The Otters are back in the game, though. They scored 3 runs in the 5th inning, and we move to the bottom of the 5th. It's 7-5. Lake Erie in front on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. We've got a bowl game at Mercy Hill Stadium in Avon, Ohio. The Otters have scored 4 runs over the last 2 innings and have trimmed the Crushers' lead down to 2. It's 7-5, Lake Erie leading Evansville as James Crick, who got the last out of the 4th inning, out to work the bottom of the 5th. The ready reliever fires home. John Tuchillo, the catcher, pops up and fouls away the first pitch. Otters trying to calm down the hot Lake Erie bats. The Crushers have scored in the last 3 innings. 0-1 from Crick. The inside corner for a strike, going 2. Otters have another arm warming in the bullpen. Looks like it's John Beamer again warming up for Evansville. He just pitched just yesterday for the Otters. 0-2. Bounces in front of home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Zach Smith got the start today for the Otters. His command was really what did him in. He had 2 batters and walked 1 in the 2nd. Walked 2 more batters in the 3rd, and then hit another batter and walked 2 more in the 4th before Crick came in to get the last out. The 1-2 inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Four walks for Smith, Crick walking 1. So 5 walks already by the Otters pitching staff just in the bottom of the 5th. 2-2. Popped up high in the air down the right field line. Dakota Phillips, the first baseman, on the edge of the warning track. Makes the grab, 1 away. Back to the top of the order, and John Dito Trump for Lake Erie with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. 7-5 lead for Lake Erie over Evansville. Trump has had quite the series already. 4 hits and 4 RBIs yesterday. First pitch sails high for a ball. Crushers have a bunch of former players that played in the Phillies organization. Have some coaching connections there. Trump played 6 years in the Phillies organization. 641 games in minor league baseball. The 1-0 inside, 2 balls and no strikes. One of the veterans on this Lake Erie squad who's dealt with some injuries, just activated at the start of the series. Really a guy with a strong bat, and he's got some good pop as well. Hit a home run yesterday. 2-0 at the knees for a strike, 2-1. Native of Aruba. Beautiful country in the Caribbean. 2-1. At the knees again for a strike, 2-2 to Trump. If you're wondering how it's spelled too, it's Tromp, the last name of John Dito Trump. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Trump lunging at a breaking ball outside of the zone. Nasty pitch from Crick. 2 outs. It's the 3rd German-American bag strikeout of the day for Otters pitching. So it brings up the 3rd baseman, Zach Rickusin. 2 outs and nobody on. And the Otters finally work a clean inning. Lake Erie's had a runner in scoring position in every inning today. Time's called as Thomas Bruss, who's still warming in the Lake Erie bullpen, had a ball get away from him and roll all the way in front of the Crusher dugout. Rickusin, the righty batter, is 0 for 3 today. Crick fires home. Rickusin takes low, 1-0. Yesterday's game went by in a breeze, especially the second half. Today has been a steady crawl with a lot of action. 1-0. Pounded foul, 1-1. First 2 games these teams played a couple of weeks ago were such snoozers. Otters offense didn't do much. Lake Erie won pretty quickly, 2 games that went by. And ever since then, every game has been pretty wacky and weird. The 1-1 grounded up the middle, skids off the side of the mound and into center field. Rickusin with the base hit, and the Crushers just will not go down easy in an inning. First hit of the series for the third baseman. He's aboard with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th as it brings up Todd Isaacs Jr. And it brings out the Otters pitching coach Max Peterson as well. Cricket 26 pitches. And Peterson is going to make the change. So Crick does a good job. He gets 3 outs for the Otters and allows just 1 base runner. Clapping it towards the Otters bullpen. That almost looked like a soccer player coming off the pitch and applauding the fans. And John Beamer is going to come into this ball game for a second straight day. We will be right back. 1 on, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. 7-5. Crushers lead on the Otters Digital Network. John Beamer. It's a fastball, slider, and sinker. Welcome back to Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Griffin Epstein joining you on a hot Wednesday afternoon from Mercy Hill Stadium in Avon. Otters making a call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find all your battery needs at 2319 North Green River Road, or call it 812-475-9000. That's the phone number for all your battery needs. John Beamer, the new arm into the game for the Otters, looking for the final out of the bottom of the 5th inning. 1 on, 2 outs. The Otters trailing 7-5 to Lake Erie. Beamer's second appearance already of the week. He was efficient and effective yesterday for the Otters. And heading in 2/3, he needed just 18 pitches for the 5 outs. Allowed 2 hits, no walks, and 1 strikeout. So Crushers will see him for a second straight day. Beamer working on the right side of the rubber out of this stretch. He'll face the righty Todd Isaacs Jr. with Recusant at first and 2 outs. A late time is called and a pitch clock violation on Beamer. Those are always tough. Beamer started his motion, but it's right at the buzzer, essentially, when the pitch clock's expiring. And Reed Hoover calls the pitch clock violation. So a ball on Beamer before he even pitches a pitch. 1-0 count, and the pitch home, swing and a miss by Isaacs Jr., 1-1. Beamer's 26th appearance of the season, 2.14 ERA. He's not allowed a run in his last 5 outings over 7 innings pitched. Just 8 earned on the season, 45 strikeouts to just 12 walks. 1-1, bounces in front of home plate, 2 balls and 1 strike. Coming out for a second straight day, but he has been really reliable this season for the Otters. Had a stretch from May into early June. He went 10 1/3 straight scoreless over 7 outings. Confident pitcher with a lot of good stuff. The 2-1 fouled straight back, 2-2. Fastball, slider, and sinker for Beamer. Former Campbell Camel. Started his career not far from Evansville collegially, Wabash Valley College in Mount Carmel, Illinois, right across the Wabash River from Indiana. Teammates with Noah Myers there as well. Also started his collegiate career at Wabash Valley. So strike away from finishing the bottom of the 5th inning. The 2-2. Foul tipped off the end of the bat and away from Green back to the backstop. Isaacs Jr. just barely keeping the at-bat going. Two and two. Outside, throw down to second. Out is Recusant. No. No, he's safe. Wow. And Max Peterson, with Andy McCauley already thrown out of this game, Otters manager, and now Max Peterson's going to come out to talk with that's Clark Morgan actually at third base. That was odd. It looked like Recusum was out by a mile. Great throw from Green. And Clark Morgan paused like he was going to call him out, and then Recusum put up his hands to call time as if getting in on the act that he was safe, and Clark Morgan said, all right, you're safe. Looked out by a lot. And now Clark Morgan walking on over to talk with the first base umpire, Jason Smith. It has not been a day that the Otters have been super friendly with Jason Smith, Reed Hoover, and Clark Morgan. And they're going to rule him safe. So that keeps the inning going. It was ball 3, so it's a full count now to Isaacs Jr. and Recusum at second base. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning and a 7-5 lead for Lake Erie. Payoff pitch coming from Beamer. Here's the pitch. Chopped left side and foul right over the head of the Crushers manager and third base coach Jared Lemieux. Beamer trying to finish the 6th inning and give the Otters just their second half inning where they've not allowed Lake Erie to score. Payoff again. Inside for ball 4. A walk to Isaacs Jr., and there's 2 on for Lake Erie with 2 outs in the 5th. This has just been one of those games where, really on both sides, nothing has felt easy pitching-wise. Runners on in scoring position, walks. A very long day as we've just reached the 2-hour mark, and we're in just the bottom of the 5th inning, and this is the pitch clock. Jake Green walking out to chat with Beamer on this hot Wednesday afternoon. Beamer wiping the sweat off his forehead with his Blue Otters jersey, taking off the hat. Trying to reset himself here and keep the Otters just 2 back in the bottom of the 5th. Green walking back behind home plate as Beamer gets set to face Jack Harris. 0 for 2 today, hit by a pitch in the 4th and came around to score. Recusum at second, Isaacs Jr. at first with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. 7-5 Lake Erie leads. Beamer throws. It misses low, 1-0. Beamer back to grab the rosin bag. Find some grip on a certainly sweaty Wednesday afternoon. Windy as well. About 15-mile-per-hour wind out to left center. Pitch home, outside, away from the glove of Green, and all the way back to the backstop. Both runners advance. .93 miles per hour, we're way outside. It will be a wild pitch to Beamer. Recusum to third, Isaacs Jr. to second with 2 outs. 2 in scoring position for Harris and a 2-0 count. Beamer home, outside, 3-0. Every Crusher half inning over the last 4 innings now has felt like it's taken at least 20 minutes. It's been a taxing day. The 3-0 is at the knees for a strike, 3-1. That has been where the strike calls have been for Reed Hoover. Yakertek confirms it was just barely a strike on the bottom corner. 3-1 count. Pitch. Outside corner, a strike again, and Beamer has worked it back full to Harris. There's a base open at first. 2 on and 2 out, bottom of the 5th. Otters scored 3 in the top half of the 5th to Got a 5-run lead down to 2. Kevin Davis is now warming in the Evansville bullpen. Thomas Bruss continues to throw in Lake Erie's pen. The payoff. Chopper down the right field line. Diving is Phillips to glove it. Will race to the first base bag and beat Harris there for the 3rd out of the inning. Terrific play by the Otters first baseman Dakota Phillips on a broken bat grounder down the line. Phillips making the play off a tough hop and beats Harris for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Otters finally put up a 0 in the bottom of the 5th. It's 7-5. Lake Erie leading as we move to the 6th inning. The Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Top of the 6th inning from Mercy Health Stadium in Avon, Ohio. It's taken over 2 hours to complete 5 innings, and the Crushers lead the Otters 7-5. Lake Erie making their first call to the bullpen. The righty Thomas Bruss into the ballgame for the Crushers. 4.43 ERA for Bruss, making his 20th appearance of the season. 22 in a 3rd innings pitch. He struck out 24, but has also walked 14 batters. First year with the Crushers, last year with the New Jersey Jackals. He's been really solid of late, has not allowed an earned run in the month of June. That includes 2 outings scoreless against the Otters. Ethan Skinder leads off the top of the 6th inning and takes the first pitch high and away from Bruss. Big 6'8", 280-pound righty. Takes a big deep breath, then the 1-0. Fouled away by Skinder, 1-1. Otters scoring in back-to-back innings, 1 in the 4th and then 3 in the 5th. Yomar Reyes coming through with the big 2-out, 2 RBI double for Evansville. 1-1 count to Skinder. Bruss delivers. High, 2 balls and 1 strike. Fastball, slider, and splitter from Bruss. He's got good velocity. 95 to 97 on the fastball. That was 97 on that last pitch. The 2-1 on the outside corner for a strike, 2-2. 95 miles per hour. He's reached 99 before. The 2-2 popped up into center field. Coming in is Trump under the baseball, and he makes the catch. 1 away. You have a group of friends or coworkers who wish to come to historic Bosse Field and enjoy an Otters home game. Contact the Otters front office to reserve a party deck on the Corona Extra Patio Deck. Corona Extra Patio Deck is one of the best places to watch the game with an all-you-can-eat menu and unlimited bottled water and soft drinks. Call 812-435-8686 for more information on how you can book your next celebration. Righty batter Jake Green takes a big swing and a miss at the first pitch he sees from Bruss. 1 out, nobody on in the top of the 6th. Lake Erie leads 7-5. Pitch home. On the outside corner for a strike. 0-2. Darian Reagan's lefty is now starting to throw in the Lake Erie pen. 0-2. Popped up by Green. High in the air into shallow right. Back is the second baseman, Thomas Rivera, and he makes a backpedaling catch for the second out. Just the second time today, the first two, actually third time today, first two Otter batters have been retired, but Evansville has not gone down in order yet today. Brian Rosario, switch hitter batting lefty to face Bruss with 2 outs and nobody on. First pitch home. Check swing by Rosario. Did he go around? No. Held up on a pitch low, 1-0. Some clouds starting to roll in from over Lake Erie. Blocking out the sun right now on what had previously been an all sunny day. A light haze in the sky as well. It's hot and humid. Some rain potentially this evening as the 1-0 is chopped to the left side. Gloved by the shortstop Watkins. Throws to first in time to beat Rosario. The Otters go down in order in the top of the 6th. It's 7-5. Crushers in front on the Otters Digital Network. Welcome back to Avon, Ohio. 7-5 lead for Lake Erie over Evansville. Kenwell Thomas Rivera leads off for the Crushers and takes a first pitch he sees from John Beamer outside for a ball. 7-5 lead for Lake Erie over Evansville. A 1-0, chopped left side and foul. Beamer got the final out of the bottom of the 5th inning. Coming in for James Crick. Walked a batter and then got a ground out to retire this side. Out for the 6th. The 1-1. Popped up into shallow center. Brodin and Skinder both going back, and it falls over the head of Skinder. Thomas Rivera safe at first. It just had the look, by the way the Otters, all 3 blue jerseys were running, that someone was under it. There wasn't really a panic sprint by anyone, and just fell over the head of Skinder and into no man's land. So a bloop base hit for Thomas Rivera. He leads off the 6th at first. Brings up Jared Watkins, the shortstop, who takes a first pitch strike. Clouds really rolling in overhead, and the sun, which is probably a relief to most people, is gone for now on a steamy Wednesday afternoon. 0-1. Misses low, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's been a long game, but most of the kids in summer camps still in attendance in their brightly colored t-shirts. They've been well occupied, though, with the water games around the ballpark. 1-1. Breaking ball outside for a strike. 1-2. Got a guy whose job, it seems today, is just to spray children with a long hose. He's standing on top of the suite level and spraying children with a hose down below. Got water guns around the ballpark as well. The 1-2 runner goes, and it's fouled away by Watkins. Had slip and slides on the field after the game. A lot of kids got to enjoy. Lake Erie's Jack Harris even came out and participated in the slip and slide. And they're going to have slip and slides on the field after the game again today. The super splash days, these early afternoon games. The 1-2 outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Watkins. Even they had an extra long water slide almost on the grassy hill that the Crusher interns were enjoying after the game yesterday as well. Beamer steps off and will call time. Reset himself on a 2-2 count to Watkins. I brought my swimsuit, but I left it back at the hotel, and I forgot again today. So no slip and slide for me. 2-2. Fouled away by Watkins. Bat flew out of his hands and sailed backwards. Just looking up to see where the ball went. Well, foul back over everyone's head and into the parking lot behind us. Thomas Rivera at first with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. 7-5, Lake Erie leading Evansville. Jay Green walking out to have a word with Beamer again. Second time these two have had a conversation. Reed Hoover making sure to break it up quickly. Darian Reagan's the lefty throwing in the Lake Erie bullpen. Brushworked a really quick 1-2-3 fifth. See if it's Reagan's turn in the 7th. The Otters, I mean, I've been really impressed by Reagan's. The Otters have not hit him much over the first 7 games these two teams have played this year. 2-2 coming to Watkins. Pitch. Low for ball 3. Green rushes a throw down the first base line over the head of Phillips and all the way into right field. Thomas Rivera will go all the way to third as the Otters throw into Reyes. Thomas Rivera to third base, standing up. Green trying to pick off Thomas Rivera at first, but the throw too tall. And the Crushers take advantage as Thomas Rivera takes 2 extra bases. So he's at third, and now a full count to Watkins. Beamer home. Grounder right side. Phillips down to a knee to glove it. Underhand toss to first. Beamer steps on the bag for the out, and Thomas Rivera stays put at third base. Really nice play by Phillips on an awkward bouncing ball to his left. Just got down as low as possible, low center of gravity to stabilize yourself. Able to keep the ball in front of him, and Beamer quick off the mound to provide some help. Much needed first out of the inning. 1 away for the lefty Sean Sheely. First pitch home. Misses low, bounces to the left of Green, but not far enough for Thomas Rivera to go anywhere at third base. Sheely came and pitch ran for Scott Knotts back in the 4th inning and now getting his first at bat. Hitting .212 on the season with 2 homers. Lefty batter, 1-0 count. Righty Beamer throws home, swing and a miss. 1-1. It's a new look today for Beamer. He typically goes with long pants and you don't see the socks, but today the gray pants scrunched up to just below the knees as he's wearing tall blue stockings today. Look that James Crick typically has on the mound. 1-1. A flare, broad back and right over his head and bouncing into right center. Thomas Rivera scores, and the Crushers add another run here in the 6th. It's 8-5. Shealy didn't get much contact, but he got enough. A flare on a pitch way outside of the zone. Thomas Rivera scores. RBI base hit for Shealy. Runner at first with 1 out, and the Crushers extend the lead to 3. Josh Rego takes the first pitch high for a ball. Lake Erie scored in 4 of 6 innings today. Pitch home, Shealy takes off, pitches low, Green's throw down to second, hops in front of Brodden, and Shealy is safe. 19th stolen base of the season for Sean Shealy, which leads the Crushers. Kevin Davis is warming up again in the Otters bullpen, the big 6'9" righty. Evansville's already used 4 relievers this weekend as Rego swings and drives one high in the air to left center. This ball's gone. Josh Rego, a 2-run home run. It's 10-5 Crushers. Just the 3rd time this season Lake Erie scored double-digit runs. And Rego, the 4th home run of the series for the Crushers, their first today. .409 feet off the bat. That ball crushed to the deepest spot of the ballpark in left center and just over the wall. John Tuccillo takes the first pitch low for a ball. 3 runs in the 6th for the Crushers, and all of a sudden the lead's back out to 5 as Tuccillo takes the pitch outside 2-0. Pitch home. Chopper off the end of the bat, right side, gloved by the first baseman Phillips. He'll jog over to the bag for the 2nd out of the inning. It's Rego's first home run as a Crusher. And it's just been the story for Lake Erie. They had 3 solo home runs yesterday, and none of them were by guys that had, coming in at least, big home run numbers on the year. Bunch of guys with 1 or 2 homers. First pitch to Trump, and he lines one into left field, a base hit. John Dito Trump with his 4th, or make it his 3rd hit of the day, and he keeps the 6th inning going. Single in the 1st, single in the 2nd, single in the 6th for the Aruba native. So he's at first with 2 outs. Lake Erie's going to pinch run again. They're going to use Austin White to pinch run for John Dito Trump at first base. Three runs in the bottom of the 6th inning for Lake Erie, and they've taken a 10-5 lead. Beamer delivers home. It's inside 1-0. The righty Austin Gossman is now throwing in the Evansville pen. Guy who's only been a starter so far this season for Evansville. As the 1-0 misses low for a ball, 2-0. One on, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. 10-5 Crushers lead. The 2-0 inside for ball 3. Beamer's gotten 3 outs, but he's pitching here for the 2nd straight day. The 3-0 on the inside corner for his strike, 3-1. 18 pitches yesterday for Beamer. The 3-1 home. A breaking ball at the letters for a strike 3-2. Nice sinker by the righty from Hopkinsville, Kentucky. 10 runs on 11 hits today for Lake Erie. It's the third time all year putting up at least 10 runs. They did so just last Wednesday against the Otters, scored 14 runs, and they scored 10 against Quebec in their very first game of the season. The payoff home. Runner takes off. Grounder left side over the right. The shortstop Skinner around the second base bag. Throw to first in time. Beats Rakusin. Nice play by the shortstop Skinner. 3 runs, though, come across for Lake Erie. A 2-run homer by Josh Rego highlighting the inning. And it's 10-5 Crushers after 6 innings on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Top of the 7th inning from Mercyhale Stadium in Avon, Ohio. It's been eventful, to say the least. 10-5, Lake Erie leads Evansville in the middle game of this series. Crushers 9 outs away from taking their second series of the year over the Otters. New pitcher into the game, the lefty Darian Reagans. First pitch home from the southpaw, in for a strike to the lefty batter Noah Myers. Reagans, I've been super impressed by him all year. 4 appearances against the Otters. He's only allowed 1 hit and a couple walks against the Otters. Comes home. Myers fouls one off the top of the screen, 0-2. 1.51 ERA for Reagans in 26 appearances. 4-1 record. He has 2 saves, 40 strikeouts, just 15 walks. The numbers are terrific. 0-2. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. Myers strikes out looking, 1 away. Five Otters have been retired in a row, 1 away in the top of the 7th. Another lefty, Kona Quiggle. Reagans misses inside 1-0. Crushers just playing the matchups here. Bruss had a great 1-2-3 6th inning, but they bring in the lefty pitcher, knowing that 3 of the 4 Otters at the top of the lineup are lefties. 1-0. This is low and in the turf, 2-0. Reagan's got a big motion. He cocks the arm way back, almost pointing the ball all the way back at second base before coming all the way back over the top. Really fun pitcher to watch on the mound. The 2-0. This is outside. 3-0 to Quiggle. 5 pitches, for 6 pitches, actually, for Reagans. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, cutter, and sinker. on the repertoire. Versatile guy with some good stuff. 3-0. Inside for ball 4. He walks Quiggle on 4 pitches. This is how the Otters' 3-run 5th inning started with a bunch of walks. Went on with 1 out. Otters needing another big inning. They scored 3 runs in the 5th inning, but the Crushers plated 3 in the bottom of the 6th to retake a 5-run lead. Jeffrey Baez to the plate. Quiggle at first with 1 out in the top of the 7th. The Otters trailing 10-5. Reagans throws. A strike on the inner third to Baez. 10-5, Lake Erie leads here in the top of the 7th inning. Reagans comes home. Baez slaps one over the head of the second baseman, Thomas Rivera, into right field. Base hit for Baez. 2 on with 1 out. So the Otters bats have another punch in them. It's felt like a boxing match today. One offense puts a punch together, and then the other offense responds, but the Crushers have thrown a few more punches so far than Evansville. Dakota Phillips coming to the plate. Dak 0 for 3 today. Quiggle at second, Baez at first. 1 out in the top of the 7th. Evansville trails 10-5. Reagan's working out of the stretch. Black glove set at the chest and throws. It's chopped foul by Phillips off the screen. 7 hits now for Evansville, 5 runs. Otters have 4 walks as well. The 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. Breaking ball from Reagans. He's got 5 different ones he can throw. That one tailed below the zone at the last moment. 0-2 count to Phillips. Reagans delivers. It's fouled away up over my head and out of play. Otters have lost their first 4 games here at Mercy Health Stadium and are just 2-5 against the Crushers this season, even though Lake Erie sits in second to last in the Frontier League West. 0-2. Inside one. No, they're going to call strike 3. Wow. Phillips can't believe the call. That pitch was way inside. And Dak still talking with Reed Hoover. Max Peterson and Bobby Siegel are both walking over to get Dakota Phillips away. And now Bobby Siegel is going to chat with Reed Hoover. This is the third, actually really all 4 Otters coaches at this point have had arguments with the umpires. And McCauley ejected earlier today. Evansville has had a very frustrating time here in Avon, Ohio over the last couple of weeks. And today has arguably been the most frustrating with a variety of calls not going the Otters' way. 2 on, 2 out for Reyes. First pitch home, misses low for a ball. Yomar delivered back in the 5th for the Otters. 2 on and 2 out. A 2 RBI base hit to get the Otters within 2 runs. But now the lead is back out to 5 again. 1-0. Popped up high in the air down the left field line. Over is Chile, and he will watch it bounce along the concourse. One and 1. Grounder left side, right to the shortstop Watkins. He gloves, he throws to first. It beats Reyes. The Otters get 2 on in the 7th, but can't score. It's time to stretch from Mercy Health Stadium. The Crushers in front, 10-5 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Gossman. 45, Austin Gossman. Seventh inning stretch finally completed here at Mercy L Stadium. Over 2.5 hours into baseball, a 10-5 lead for Lake Erie over Evansville. And the Otters making another call to the bullpen. Austin Gossman into the game for the Otters. The Reddy has 10 starts on the season, but this is his first appearance out of the bullpen. His first pitch home to Todd Isaacs Jr. is fouled away. 5.44 ERA on the season for Gossman in 10 starts. 4-2 record. Has 45 strikeouts to 18 walks in those 51 innings pitched. His first appearance since last Wednesday as a pitch misses low. 1-1 to Isaacs Jr. Got a start against the Crushers last Wednesday, and things fell apart for him in a third inning that went haywire. Ended up allowing 6 runs on 5 hits and couple of hit batters as well. His pitch misses outside 2-1, and now Max Peterson has been tossed out of the ball game. Not happy from the Otters dugout, and he's come out now to get words in with Reed Hoover, the home plate umpire, behind home plate, showing him where the balls and strikes are. Reed Hoover has been inconsistent today. I'll leave it at that. So the Otters have had 2 of their coaches thrown out today. Eddie McCauley was thrown out arguing with Clark Morgan, the third base umpire, after the second inning. And now Max Peterson thrown out arguing balls and strikes here in the bottom of the 7th. So now the managerial duties will fall to the Otters hitting coach Bobby Siegel for the first time this season. It's a 2-1 count to Todd Isaacs Jr. here in the bottom of the 7th. Is still waiting as Peterson has to make a long walk down the third base line. The fence to get to the both clubhouses is all the way where the left field foul pole is. 2-1 count to Todd Isaacs Jr. here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Gossman coming home. Grounder skids off the side of the mound and up the middle and through for a base hit. Isaacs Jr. leads off with a base hit in the bottom of the 7th inning. It will bring up Jack Harris. That's 12 hits now today for Lake Erie, topping their 11 from yesterday. Gossman home. Harris swings at the first pitch and grounds it foul. Nice play in the Crushers dugout to field a ball and avoid it taking a quick hop into the stands. Now they toss it to one of the young kids and a camp down the third base line for a souvenir. 0-1 coming from Gossman. Pitch home. Grounder left side. Skinder to glove it, bobbles it, picks it back up. Now we'll try to throw to first, but it's not in time. Harris is safe at first. There's 2 on with nobody out on the bottom of the 7th. Todd Isaacs Jr. at second, Harris at first. And not the start that Gossman was looking for in his first appearance out of the bullpen. I believe as an Otter. He started all 18 games he appeared in last year as well. Kemuel Thomas Rivera, the righty, takes a first pitch strike at the letters, 0-1. Well, the Otters traded away John Vargas last week for Josh Broughton, and then signed Braden Scott, so it put Evansville back at having 6 starters again. The 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. Gausman had some really good starts this year where he's looked like himself that he did last year when he was one of the more consistent starters for the Otters. Was excellent to start the month and has started Joliet. Here's the 0-2. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But back-to-back outings that were more shaky, and he didn't make it into the 5th inning in either of his last 2 starts. So coming out of the bullpen here for Evansville, Braden Scott scheduled to start tomorrow for Evansville. 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Braden Bonner, righty in the Crushers bullpen, is now throwing. 2-2. Outside and a full count to Thomas Rivera. Two on, nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. Lake Erie leads 10-5. Gausman, black glove, sets it at the chest and throws. Chopped away. Rivera fouls it off the screen. Should just stay alive. A bunch of guys have had great days for the Crushers at the plate. Thomas Rivera probably better than them all, though. 3 for 3, and he's yet to get out today with 3 runs scored. The 3-0. Lined high in the air to left field. This ball is gone. Off the top of the grassy hill. Thomas Rivera, a 3-run home run, and the Crushers have blown it open. It's 13-5. .414 feet by Thomas Rivera. A couple of shirtless small children have retrieved it. It bounced right off the top of the hill in left field and rolled over down into the road below. What a day for Kemuel Thomas Rivera. Still nobody out. Bases are clear. The lefty batter Jared Watkins swings at the first pitch. Grounds it right side, right to the second baseman Broughton. He'll throw to first. 1 away. Evansville Otter fans, 2023 brings new opportunities to catch all the latest Frontier League action. Be sure and check out the Frontier League and your Evansville Otters on Flow Sports, the official streaming partner of the Frontier League. Never miss a game and follow along all the way to the championship. Just visit EvansvilleOtters.com for links to watch. And subscribe today for all Flow Sports and Frontier League content. 1 out, nobody on for the lefty Sean Cheely, who swings at the first pitch and fouls it right off the barrier in between 2 windows, about 3 windows down to my left. I'm getting close to getting a foul ball today. My window is open, and I wouldn't say it's inviting to foul balls, but I've always wanted to try to make a play on one in the booth, and we're getting close today on a couple foul balls. It's got to be a lefty batter as Cheely takes low for a ball, 1-1. I am right down the first base line. Or I guess I'm down the third base line. I'm looking straight away at the first base line from my vantage point. Cheely takes a strike on the inside corner, 1-2. There's suites right behind home plate, so the press box is just a smidge down the third base line. 1-2. A liner, right side, bounces off the glove of Braun, knocks it down in front of him, barehanded, throw to first, not in time. Cheely is safe. Braun kept it in the infield, but Cheely runs it out. He's aboard at first with 1 out. Should go down as a base hit for Cheely. If it does, it's the 14th hit of the day for Lake Erie. Brings up Josh Rego, the first baseman. The story is here why the press box at Mercy Hill Stadium is not behind home plate is not the current owner, but a past owner of the club, as Josh Rego takes the first pitch strike. Past owner of the club really wanted his suite to be right behind home plate, so he demanded when the stadium was built that the owner's suite was behind home plate. Therefore, the press box was built just slightly down the left field line as Rego swings and misses 0-2. It is given a single to Chile for the 14th hit of the day for the Crushers. 13-5, Lake Erie leads in the bottom of the 7th. Since then, Lake Erie's changed ownership, and I think they're a little bit more accommodating to the media now. The 0-2's outside, 1-2. In fact, they've been very accommodating to the media on our 2 trips here to Mercy Hill Stadium. Hot food in the mornings. I got a donut this morning. Great conversation in the press box. A nice, spacious, air-conditioned booth. Everything I could ask for. 1-2. Shot foul again. Rego stays alive. Just a nicely built ballpark, though, outside of the press box, not being behind home plate. It's a convenient spot right off I-90. Big parking lot for fans. And a pretty cool ballpark when it's filled up. First game here, the Otters got to experience that. Pitch home, sails high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the only sellout crowd of the season for the Crushers. And the Monday night opener between these two in the first series in early July. It was 4th of July Eve. The city of Avon put on a big fireworks show after the game. 2-2. Chopped right side. Braun working all over to his right. Bobbles it. Picks it back up. Has plenty of time to toss over to first. And he'll get the out at first base. 2 away. Chile goes to second with 2 outs. 13-5 lead for Lake Erie over Evansville as John Tuchillo, the catcher, righty batter, comes to the plate. Gossman comes home. A strike right down the middle, 0-1. 0-1 is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. The other advantage of Mercy Hill Stadium is the stands are just 8 rows deep. So wherever you're sitting, as long as you're in the lower bowl and not in the suite level, you're very close to the field. Now the disadvantage is there aren't too many seats behind home plate. The 1-1 grounded left side, backhanded play by the shortstop Skinner. Toss over to first, beats Tuchillo by a step. That retires the bottom of the 7th inning. A 3-run home run by Kemwell Thomas Rivera extends the lead for the Crushers. It's 13-5 after 7 innings on the Otters Digital Network. Top of the 8th inning for Mercy Hill Stadium. Crushers 6 outs away from securing their second series victory over the Otters this season, and just their second series victory since early June. They lead 13-5 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Another call to the bullpen for the Crushers. Braden Bonner into the ball game for Evansville, or for Lake Erie, I should say. 32 appearances on the season, 33 innings pitched for the righty from Utah, 4.64 ERA. Bonner actually played 4 games for the Otters at the tail end of last season, and he's pitched plenty against Evansville. 5 of the first 6 games these teams played, Bonner pitched it. Josh Brodden leading off, takes a first pitch inside from Bonner to lead off the top of the 8th. Otters scored 6 runs off Bonner. Thursday night rubber match winner for the Otters last Thursday. Brodden grounds one up the middle over the second base bag into center field to base hits. Brodden starts off the 8th with a base hit. Otters offense has done some good things today. 8 hits now on the day for the Otters. They have 2 home runs. They've put a runner in scoring position in now 6 of 8 innings today. Gotten runners on via walk, but the 5 runs nowhere near enough. Bonner fires home, and Skinder takes a strike on the outside corner. Skinder has one of the home runs, stole a home run back in the 4th. The 0-1. Breaking ball on the outside corner, 0-2. Bonner working out of the stretch, sets below the belt, peeks back at first at Brodden, and fires home. Inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Skinder. It's time for a look at the WJPS 107.1 Frontier League out-of-town scoreboard. Reminder, you can tune in every Monday through Friday for the Otters' daily updates on WJPS 107.1. Unlike yesterday when the Otters and the Crushers were the only late morning / early afternoon games, Bonner pitches another one inside, 2-2 to Skinder. There are 4 games here in the early afternoon across the Frontier League, 4 of the 8 games on this Wednesday. Part of summer camp days. Always good for the kids to enjoy baseball. It's the 2-2 outside and a full count to Skinder. Tri-City already securing the series victory against Joliet. The Valley Cats win 9-3 over the Slammers. Sussex County also securing their series over the Boulders. All of a sudden, the Miners swept Gateway last week, and they've won 5 in a row. They take down New York 9-2 today in Pomona. The Otters will head there next this weekend. Here comes the payoff. It's driven into left center field, falling quickly, running in Chile, and he makes a racing catch. Great play by the left fielder on his horse. That ball looked destined for no man's land. The left fielder reels it in. It was actually Austin White now as Chile has shifted over to center field. Speedy White in just his 2nd game as a Crusher with a good play. So 1 away. Brodden still at first. Brings up Jake Green. Pitch home. Green takes outside, 1-0. The last early afternoon game ongoing. Schaumburg off to a good start against Ottawa. They lead 6-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Boomers came from behind to win last night. And to keep the pressure on the Grizzlies, they're just half a game back at Gateway. Green grounds one left side to the left of the third base bag and foul, 1-1. 4 games this evening. Jackals at Washington. New Jersey won last night. Quebec will go for win 15 in a row at Florence. Trois-Rivières hosts Empire State. And Gateway broke their 6-game losing streak with a win last night. Will face Windy City. 1-1 to Green. Popped up in foul territory. Catcher Tuchillo looking up, cycling back, and it bounces off his glove and onto the turf. Those are always the toughest plays to make for the catcher. Those pop-ups where they get turned around and then they have to start backpedaling back towards the field. The wind is blowing out to left today, and ball started blowing back towards foul territory, and Tuchillo couldn't reel it in. Green gets another chance, 1-2 count. Bonner fires home. It hits Green, hit him on the back. Slider inside. And there's 2 on for Evansville with 1 out in the top of the 8th. Otters trail 13-5 here in the top of the 8th inning as the DH Brian Rosario comes to the plate. The southpaw Hunter Clucky is warming in the Otters bullpen. Actually see him in the 8th. Rosario swings at the first pitch, lines it into left field, a base hit. Brodin is sent from third. He will score without a throw, and the Otters add a run here in the 8th inning. Rosario reaches for the second time today. His first hit of the series, drives in Brodin, and the Otters cut the lead to 7 runs. They now trail 13-6. Otters have scored in 4 of 8 innings today. The 3-run 5th, though, just the only big inning. Otters need a massive number put up here in the 8th to get back in the game. Back to the top of the order, and the lefty Noah Myers. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Bonner steps off and watches Green back to second base. Jay Green at second, Rosario at first. 6 runs on 9 hits for the Otters. Committed 2 errors as well. Bonner sizes his shoulders and throws outside, 1-0 to Myers. Evansville will have a long wait until tomorrow night's game, with the 2 morning games on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then a night game not scheduled till tomorrow till 7 p.m. Eastern time, at 6 p.m. Central. 1-0 on the inside corner for a strike, 1-1. This will be a long time off for the Otters to catch up on some rest. Evansville getting a little unlucky with the schedule and not getting a real Monday off for a few weeks. 1-1. Chopped right side, taking it back on hop is Rego. He throws to second base for the first out. Throws to Green at third instead, who was lingering off the bag. Gonna catch Green by surprise. He gets back under the tag. 2 outs, and now runners on the corners. Rosario, the force out on the 6-4 ground out at second. Myers at first, Green at third. Brings up Kona Quiggle. Kona's had a good day today. He's worked 2 walks and hit a solo home run. 1 for 2 and 2 runs. Bonner comes home. Quiggle takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Otters have 3 straight Mondays that they don't really have off because of travel. Otters played Tri-City 2 weekends ago, and then didn't get back till around 8 or 9 a.m., I think it was. Sun was well up, and people were going to work when we got into town. As Green chops one foul, or Quiggle, excuse me, chops one foul off his foot. 0-2. And then this past Monday, just 2 days ago, the Otters, having to play a morning game yesterday, left Monday at noon. So you don't get much of Monday off. And then an evening game on Sunday at New York. So Evansville, be similar to Tri-City, won't get back home until around 9 a.m. or so. 0-2. Lined right side, playing all the way back on the edge of the right field grass. Thomas Rivera gloves it and throws to first for the 3rd out of the inning. Evansville gets 1 run in the top of the 8th, but they trail 13-6 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Hunter Clucky, 35. Clucky, 35. Welcome back to Mercy Health Stadium. 3 hours into baseball now. We move to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's all Lake Erie. They lead 13-6. It's the Otters bringing in another arm out of the bullpen. Hunter Clucky, the lefty, will come in to try to get the last 3 outs for the Otters here in the bottom of the 8th. He faces the lefty Austin White in his first plate appearance. Swings and misses at the first pitch. White pitch ran for Jandito Trump back in the 6th inning. 0-1. Lined left side, backhanded by the third baseman Reyes. Long throw across the diamond, beats White, 1 away. We'll bring up Zachary Houston with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th as the Otters trail 13-6. Busy day for the Otters bullpen. Lucky the 4th arm used today out of the pen. Zach Smith just did not have it today for Evansville, allowing 7 runs on 6 hits, 4 walks, and 3 hit batters. First pitch to Zachary Houston, taken low for a ball. Southpaw Clucky, 3.32 ERA, 19th appearance of the season. 1-0. Misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. 21 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed just 8 earned runs on the year. 33 strikeouts to 11 walks. The 2-0 on the inside corner for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Southpaw with the black glove sets just above the belt and throws. Lined into right field. Coming in is Baez, and he makes a jogging catch for the 2nd out. Todd Isaacs Jr., the DH, to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Otters looking like they are going to drop their 5th in a row here at Mercy Health Stadium and their 2nd out of 3 series this year to the Crushers. Clucky fires home. Grounder up the middle. Skids off the side of the mound. Backhanded by Braun. Throw from his knees to first in time. What a beautiful play by Josh Brodden. Slid on his knees, got popped up quickly, and made the throw to first for the Otters' first 1-2-3 inning of the game. So we go to the top of the 9th inning. It's 13-6. Lake Erie on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. To the top of the 9th inning from Avon, Ohio, outside of Cleveland. 13-6, Lake Erie leads Evansville. Braden Bonner got all 3 outs in the 8th inning, did allow a run. He allowed 2 base hits and hit a batter. He'll look to finish the game for the Crushers, get the final 3 outs of the 9th. He faces the heart of the Otters lineup as Jeffrey Baez, batting in the 3 spot today, leads off. Righty right fielder. Bonner readies on the mound and throws. Baez takes outside, 1-0. So the Otters, unless they complete a crazy comeback here in the 9th inning, will just for the 4th time all season drop the first 2 games of a series. Pitch home, outside, 2 balls and no strikes. It's the 21st series of the season. The Otters only 3 times have lost the first 2 games. At Quebec, here at Lake Erie, and at home against Schaumburg. 2-0, outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Quebec and Schaumburg, great teams. The two teams that played in the Frontier League Championship game last year. Is Bonner, is he hurt? I think so. He's got his hands on his knees. Jared Lemieux running out to check on Bonner, as is the Crushers athletic trainer, Jennifer Hawk. Bonner pulled something. He's behind 3-0 here to Baez, and needs some water. It is a hot day. Sun has come back out. It is very humid, and we're under a severe thunderstorm warning as well. It's probably good that we got this game in early now before storms coming in this evening. Getting a water bottle out for Bonner just to rehydrate here. Might be just overheating. Pouring some water on his neck. Hot, humid, and this is right in the dead of the heat. We're here at 2 o'clock. 88 degrees now, but humidity, making it feel like it's 93 now. So still checking out Bonner on the mound, just getting him cooled down as he tries to get the last 3 outs of this game for Lake Erie. Otters down by 7 runs. They trail 13-6. Otters got it down to 2 runs with a 3-run 5th, but the Crushers responded with 3 in the 6th, 3 more in the 7th to pull away from Evansville. Bonner will get some warm-up pitches on the mound. Make sure he's all right. Evansville most likely tomorrow going to be playing to avoid being swept for just the 2nd time all year, and the first time was here at Lake Erie. And it begs the question at this point, what is the problem for the Otters against the Crushers? Now, Evansville did beat Lake Erie in the series at Bosse Field last week. Had the crazy 14-9 loss in the middle game, but dominated the Crushers to win 11-0 in the series finale, and now they're going to take Bonner out of the game. There's no reason here to risk it and threat the health of Bonner. He's not feeling right on the mound, and the Crushers are going to bring in another arm out of the bullpen to try to finish the game. Bonner looks like he's headed back to the clubhouse to cool down. I was lucky enough to call Braden back in summer ball a couple of summers ago in the Northwoods League. Great guy, and hope he's feeling all right. So the Crushers are going to make a pitching change here. We'll take a short break and be back on the other side. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Lake Erie leads 13-6 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Welcome back to Mercy Hill Stadium. It's a really hot and humid day now in Avon, Ohio. The real field heat over 90 degrees, and Braden Bonner overheating on the mound. Lake Erie bringing in Trevor Kunsel to try to finish the game. 3.16 ERA, making his 32nd appearance of the season. Righty with 35 strikeouts to just 15 walks in 31 and the third innings pitched. He pitched just yesterday. Did not allow a base runner, but Kunsel having a 3-0 count to deal with, and the first pitch misses low to Baez, and just like that, a walk to Baez to lead off the top of the ninth. Odd as a pitcher to come in and have a 3-0 count. It almost be easier to walk him and just feel like you want to start over. So a walk to Baez to lead off the ninth. One on with nobody out. Dakota Phillips to the plate. Otters trail 13-6 here on the top of the ninth. Kunsel fires. Strike on the inside corner, 0-1. So to get back to my point, why are the Otters struggling so much against the Crushers? To me, when you look at the Otters season at this point, the 0-1, swing and a miss 0-2, the Otters are a better matchup against teams that have good hitting and so-so to bad pitching. Otters really good series wins this year, or pretty much all against really strong hitting teams with mediocre pitching. The 0-2 misses low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Otters out hit New Jersey. Had good pitching in that series as well. First road series of the year. Beat Gateway in the first series and then split the second. They're going to have the rubber match got rained out. 1-2 is hit high in the air to center field. Back is Chile. It's off the wall. Baez hustling into third. Phillips has a stand-up double. Dakota Phillips keeps on hitting doubles. He moves alone into second place on the doubles leaderboard in the Frontier League. That's Dak's 21st double of the season. The Otters have hit today. My theory was essentially going to be that the Otters offense, which has been very up and down and inconsistent when they're facing a strong pitching team like the Crushers, is going to struggle a little bit more. Arguably a better pitching staff, say the Crushers, than the Grizzlies, as Reyes grounds one left side. Back to the shortstop. Watkins will throw across the body to first to beat Reyes. And Baez will score. The Otters add another run here in the ninth, and the lead's now down to 6. It's 13-7. 1 out. The 6-3 ground out. Phillips stayed at second base. Now look at a lot of the Otters series losses this year. You have 2 to Lake Erie. You have 1 to Sussex County, a really good pitching team. Kunsel comes home to Josh Broughton in for a strike. Otters split the 2 series with Joliet. Those were pretty low-scoring series, though. Even the Wendy Series series, the Otters have won. They haven't hit much yet. 0-1. Chopped left side and fouled to the left of the third base. Bag 0-2. So the Otters seem like they're a better matchup against teams like Gateway and New Jersey that hit the lights out of the ball, because the Otters pitching staff, the best in the league statistically, can typically slow those offenses down enough. And the Otters offense has more opportunities against weaker pitching staffs. Now obviously today, the Crushers have put 13 runs up on the Otters. The 0-2 misses outside 1-2. I think the other point, just here at Mercy Hill Stadium specifically, is Otters were swept the first time all year here just 2 weeks ago. Had the loss last Wednesday with endless amounts of walks. That was one of the more embarrassing losses of the season for Evansville. They came back, responded well, won the series. 1-2 is whacked at high in the air down the right field line. 3 purple jerseys converging. The second baseman, Thomas Rivera, makes the catch, and the Otters are down to their last out. Trail 13-7 here in the ninth. Phillips still at second. Ethan Skinder's coming to the plate to face Kunsel. The Otters, they got swept here, and it was, that series was just a tough spot for Evansville. They were tired. They'd been at Joliet. Quick turnaround, a weird middle off day. It's just a series that felt like we were in Cleveland for years. Skinder swings, lobs one into right center field. This will get down for a hit. Phillips is sent from third. Ball is not relayed in, and Phillips will score standing up. It's a 2-run ninth for the Otters, and it's 13-8. Skinder's second hit of the day had a solo home run back in the fifth. Evansville has 11 hits now and 8 runs. Jake Green comes to the plate. Evansville trying to keep the game going. Skinder at first. Just to finish my point, it's felt like the pressure and frustration is just built here at Mercy Hill Stadium as Green fouls one off the screen. That there's just a different vibe right now when the Otters have to play games here because they're well aware of this is, as I've said, it's a house of horrors, Mercy Hill Stadium for the Otters. The low point of the season was that sweep. Green rips one left side. Good glove by the third baseman, Racusin. Throws to first in time, and that's the ball game. A house of horrors continues indeed. The Crushers clinch the series over the Otters as they pound Evansville for 13 runs and 14 hits, and they win 13-8. This is just a place where the Otters feel cursed. Cannot win here. They've struggled to hit in their first 4 games here at Lake Erie. Today the offense finally wakes up with 8 runs, but one of the worst days of the season for the pitching staff. Just the 3rd time all year the Otters have allowed double-digit runs, and just the 3rd time all season the Crushers have scored 10 or more runs. 13-8 the final score. Pretty similar to the Crushers' 14-9 victory just last Wednesday. In a lot of ways, felt like a near repeat of it. Walks hit batters a struggle early by the Otters. Evansville got a few runs back to make it interesting, but the Crushers pulled away, and Evansville, while a good offensive day, never got within 2 runs. So the final score again, 13-8, Lake Erie wins. 13 runs on 14 hits, 1 error for Lake Erie, 8 runs on 11 hits, and 3 errors for Evansville. Otters' road struggles continue. They've lost 7 of their last 8 on the road, and the Otters have now lost 3 road series in a row in July. Lake Erie, they've won 2 in a row now. They improved to 27-35. It's just the 2nd series win for the Crushers since early June when they beat Windy City, and both of those series wins for the Crushers coming here at Mercy Hill Stadium against the Otters. Evansville falls to 34-27. The Otters have now lost 2 in a row. We'll try to avoid just their 2nd sweep of the year tomorrow. Evansville 3 games back of Gateway, who plays tonight, but still comfortably in 3rd place in the Frontier League West. Otters had some good production offensively today. Jeffrey Baez, Ethan Skinder both had 2 hits. Kona Quiggle, Ethan Skinder both had solo home runs. Quiggle scored twice. Omar Reyes had 3 RBIs today for the Otters, but 11 hits and 8 runs, not enough, as the Crushers put up 13 runs on 14 hits. Couple guys with big games, but Kemwell Thomas Rivera, he had a special one. 4 for 4 today for Thomas Rivera. 4 runs, 4 hits, 4 RBIs, 2 doubles, and a home run. He finished a triple shy of the cycle. What a day for Kemwell Thomas Rivera. He did not get out today. Reached all 5 times he came to the plate. So the Otters will try to salvage a win here at Mercy Hill Stadium before Evansville glad they will not have to return to the state of Ohio this year. It will be Braden Smith, the lefty, going for the Otters tomorrow, making his 2nd start of the season, 3.18 ERA. His first start, a no decision last week against Empire State. And the Otters will see the righty Angelo Baez for the 2nd time this year. He's 4-5 with a 2.60 ERA. It's going to be an evening start tomorrow night. 7:05 local time first pitch. That's 6:05. And Evansville will be back here on Flow Sports and the Otters Digital Network. Big thanks to everyone here again in Lake Erie. Another early morning and another great job by the Crushers crew. Mark Howlock with Flow Sports back in Texas. Joey Beardsley, an excellent job directing here with the Crushers. I've been Griffin Epstein on the Otters Digital Network. Lake Erie defeats Evansville 13-8 this afternoon from Avon, Ohio. Hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday. Do something that makes you happy, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow evening here from Lake Erie. 13-8 the final. The Crushers beat the Otters. So long from Northeast Ohio.